Vigilante Williamson here on the 37th episode of the MFer Cocktail Lounge, and the third or fourth one I've guest hosted. I'm like the second in command, but I'm not alone. I'm joined by another person who's been on a lot of these episodes, just another red shirt with a blue shirt
there
and a green
with a
screen.
blue shirt tonight and a green screen.
How you doing?
Very well, thanks.
Cool. Our favorite Scottish Canadian, that 70s rock fan. How you doing, 70s?
I'm doing awesome, sir. And never think that you're like the second in the command. You're in command tonight. You're the boss. You're a great host.
Oh Lord, good luck. Good luck.
You're a second in command host to anybody. You're the man.
Yeah. And then last but certainly not least, fellow Michigan man. Apparently our home state is racist according to Pornhub. But hell, Draco.
Well, there's an hour's worth of conversation on its own.
That's the most important gauge.
Yeah,
that's right. That's the gold standard.
You have to use a gauge on Pornhub. That's a new
that
one.
was not as popular as racism or who was it? What was the celebrity that? No, it was Kevin James was the big in Tennessee. So Kevin James. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. Came out this week. It probably was completely made up, but Pornhub released this by state breakdown of the most popular search term on the site. And again, probably made up, but racist was big for Michigan. Mostly Asian and lesbian across the country. West Coast more Asian, South more lesbian.
Sorry, wait a minute here. Are you saying there's such a thing as racist porn?
I didn't know. Apparently.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
I mean, what is
so I
guys that dress
up
like guys that dress up like the the Yatsies, and
I don't know.
That's a bit weird.
Well, you know what?
That sounds very specialized.
It does.
Very specialized. Very specialized. And I want to also thank you in the chat. Welcome to the chat. Apparently. Keely Child, his home state's in the Ebony porn, roll tide. Yeah, a lot of South was in the Ebony, and lesbian. So there you go.
That's what the Lesbomancy, that's my favorite porn.
Yeah, hell to a lot of people in the chat. I see a lot of people were waiting. Hell, one rough girl. See that you were waiting. So yeah, it was almost midnight. Late start because of work for me. Hell, Pat S. Also pre-show, Cold Era. He says he's my Huckleberry. You're in Discord, I believe. So if you want to hop on, feel free. Another Jen. Apparently, I didn't see the Timcast episode. I'm not sure if anyone else did. Maybe Gary didn't have as much time.
He's your Huckleberry?
I guess your Huckleberry.
I guess so. Well, I don't know. Don't fight
over
the Huckleberry.
I do declare.
It's a lot of people in the chat. I don't know if I'll be able to say all of you guys. Oh, you're not in the Discord. I thought you were in the Discord for some reason.
Nick wants in, so let's get him the link. I'll send him the link.
Yeah, somebody send the link. And if anyone has access to Robert, send him the link as well. I don't know who's in the Discord. I am very disorganized.
Nick is in the Discord. Nick, the link is in the Discord.
It is. I'll copy it and put it in his private one anyway. I'll stick it in his private.
Yeah, hook him up anyway. Make it easier for the man. He's got so much flavor going on. He just cannot handle it.
It has to be entered right into him.
Yeah. And Killy Chop, we're not late. It's not my fault. I was waiting to get the login. So is that.
It's not my fault.
Technical difficulties. This is not that man's channel.
Yeah, not my channel. I tried my best.
So that was interesting today. The FNT was on earlier, and I've often thought that would be a better idea.
Friday afternoon tights.
Yeah, I mean, much better than this kind of later on in the afternoon. Then it runs into lots of other shows, and it caused us viewers a lot of problems.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw less of it because work took away from it, but that's me. thank goodness you people don't have to deal with that.
Well, this is like middle of my weekend because I get Thursday, Friday, and now Saturday off in my little seasonal job, which is winding down. So I'm in the middle of a 3 day stand. So Fridays are great.
Excellent for you, brother.
I know. Well, hey, it's been a long, hard road with many a winding turn.
The long and winding road. I'm sorry. We did not
going,
come
man.
for karaoke. I'm not drunk enough for karaoke. I'm not drunk at all, actually. I'm not sure about anyone else, if anyone else is drinking or anything.
No, I'm sober as a very sober person.
Sober as
Feast
October.
on Sunday.
Sober as October.
There you go.
So,
man, I don't think it is there anything topical. The biggest story this week, I think, was gay Superman, and I don't really care about gay Superman. Because it's a publicity stunt. But I'm not sure. What does the world think?
There was Chappelle.
There was the Chappelle thing. I did have some thoughts about the fact that this,
especially since it's an ongoing adventure now with greater Netflix and the walkouts of 1,000 employees will walk out.
Well,
because
go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, please carry on, sir.
Well, I was just trying to introduce. I was trying to segue in, but I'm a terrible host. I was just trying to say, as people walk out, people are walking in because Ace, and I guess not his dirty laundry, are here. Hell, Ace, Mr. Freeze. Well, I'm hoping this is.
It's me, buddy. How you doing?
All right, I'm doing good. Doing good.
Just in the laundry room today, so I figured I'd reflect that. Cheers, by the way. I haven't started drinking yet either.
Yeah, this is a sober cocktail lounge so far.
Not for long.
Well, we can always turn that up if you have the proper spirits to hand.
There you go.
Yes, I do. I'm still working this bottle down.
Dirty laundry.
Is that a different bottle from last week or the same one?
Same one. I'm slow.
Just a lot lower.
Not a lot.
I'm sure your liver thanks you that's not a different one.
I mean, I can only drink a few kinds, so yeah, I'm sticking with tequila.
Cool.
Another tequila sunset.
Cool. What is it? Does everyone else imbibe? I have some Tullamore Dew next to me. Not sure what everyone else is drinking.
I've got a salty dog.
Salty dog. Okay.
They've got a store brand Diet Cola.
Store brand cola. Diet.
Yes.
Oh man, that's
the cheapest of the cheap.
Double whammy.
Because I refuse to buy anything made by Coca-Cola, so I hate Pepsi. So I'm kind of restricted now, but I'm not buying anything by Coke after their woke Coke crap.
You're quite the centralist soda partaker.
There you go.
It's probably still
you
made
don't
by
swing
the same
either
people.
way.
I don't. I certainly don't.
Excellent.
No, he doesn't swing either way. He's a revolving door.
Yeah. Well, listen, dick swinging masculinity is scaring off James Bond from bars, so it's funny you mentioned that.
Oh yeah.
Courtney has her apple juice, so there's that. Did you guys see that? Daniel Craig. Oh no, wait. Before we're talking about dick swinging masculinity. When I think of dick swinging masculinity, I think of the Code Era. Hell, Code Era. How you doing? Code Era? Robert.
Speak up. You're through.
Are you here?
We hear clacking. We hear noise.
It's Morse code.
Yes.
He's in distress. She was only the telegraphist's daughter, but she did it.
Okay. Maybe we'll be joined by the Code Era.
Hell.
Oh, you here?
Hey.
There we go.
He's here.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Hello.
How you doing,
I just
man?
realized sitting by
Just chilling.
cold.
What'd you say, man? Ace?
I'm sitting by a window and it is damn cold.
Fix it. Fix it, damn it.
Try closing it then.
Oh man.
Or put your clothing on, one or the other.
Never.
Yeah.
If you're doing
Speaking
your
of
laundry,
hardcore nudity.
No, I'm wearing a
Great
great
two flavors, Nick Weiser.
Ooh, fuck
Look
something.
at this group of dudes. What's up, guys? So,
You just assume my gender.
oh, you damn
Yes,
right
you
I
did.
just did.
We're waiting
You
for
damn right. What's up, Cold Arrow? Nice to be on stream with you. This is
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
Holy shit, this is reality. I see Courtney in the chat. What's up, El Gabbles? What's up? Cute child. Guys, so anyways, I just came off my own stream. I had MVP, Clobbering Times, and Geetrapology on. We had a great conversation on Superman. We first let our frustrations out talking about gay Superman. Then we went into our favorite adaptations that were not Christopher Reeve. And then we also talked about great comic runs that we loved the Superman. And we just went to great comic questions in general. We had around 23, 24 people in the chat ask us general comic questions. So it was like a Q&A. That was fun. Rough Girl was there too. Keely Chow stopped by too. Ella did as well. Punkwell stopped by. A lot of people in this chat. It looks like we ended right in time so that they all had time to come over here and hang out with you guys. So they were probably going to come here anyways, but it was a nice way to segue from one stream to another. But happy to be on here. Happy to have Cold Arrow on here. Happy to see Ace as well. I don't think I've been on a stream with him in a long time. And, of course, Vigilante Williamson. Glad to be back on the stream with him.
Oh, man. I like the remix of what I do.
Next
Yeah,
year.
man. We used to stream like every day. Well,
it felt like it was every
because it was like every day. And then it's like we haven't streamed. We like every now and again we stream. So
we
yeah, it's
would
been a
we
long
wouldn't
time.
even know we'd be on other streams. Like, oh, hey, look, there's VW. I guess
Yep.
we're on the stream again. Sometimes we have it
Yeah.
twice in the same.
Yeah. Those were the days. We were just young YouTubers, just still young babes. Innocent to the
Naive,
world of
young
YouTube.
and naive.
Not,
We were
young
like
and naive.
virgins. We were virgins.
Yeah.
Those carefree days.
It's carefree days of a few months ago. Now we're all old and jagged and got ex-wives and shit. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Your
I
past,
know what you mean, VW.
past, current, and future ex-wives. Yeah.
Okay, so
Ex-subs.
I'm gonna break the ice here. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
pull an Alex Jones and I'm gonna hijack this shit right now.
Feel
So we
free.
talked a little bit earlier about the gay Superman shit, and here's
Yeah,
where my
Superman
take
sucks
is.
dick now.
So here's I have a few takes on this. One, DC Comics is not that confident in them doing this. You know why?
Mhm.
Because if they're so confident, they would have done this with Clark Kent. But they knew they had to sell a John Kent because even DC Comics feared of the blowback that could have been if they had done Clark Kent. If they're so confident, they would say, you know what? Give me Clark, give me Bruce, put them freaking jerking off all of each other. They get Alfred here. You can have a triangle jerk, and freaking old man just like gets a beating from the two youngins. And it's freaking brutality, and you got a triangle jerk that went to fucking shit. And then on top of it, if they were so confident in this, because Tom Taylor's like, oh, we're not. This is a genuine move. We're not trying to chase Cloud. Bullshit, you are. You're chasing Cloud. You know why? Because you could have put out that comic book and just let people buy it, and then have the actual story tell them what happened. But you needed the headlines, you needed the attention, so you could get those comic shops to order that comic, so you could get all your little 800,000 mindless variants to sell out. You were chasing clout. If you were so confident, you wouldn't need the promotion. But you need the promotion because this book was already selling fucking shit to begin with. You're on issue 4 or 5. Your issue 1 didn't amount to jack shit.
This is it, Nick. I mean, is this really going to sell any comics? I mean, does this ever
It will sell
any
this.
comics?
Here's what it will do, okay? And you can bet your ass on this shit, all right? So this is like issue 4 or 5 coming out of this garbage. Yeah. And you're going to have the speculators market. You're at the variant hunters. Yeah. They're all going to get that issue. They're going to eat it up. Then you'll probably get the Instagram wokies who will probably get their copy, spend their $4, walk out of the comic shop, take a photo of themselves on Instagram, say, I support that book. But 99.2% of them or more are not going to come back for issue 5, 6, 7, so on and so forth. It's going to be the Captain Marvel story all over again. And this is just to burn out the steam of this until they can make the next character change their gender or their sexuality or their whatever. Just like they do with Tim Drake. Now we got with John Kent. It's just they're going to keep the cycle repeating and repeating. That's all they're going to do. And then when they're falling back on nothing but that, it just shows you. I mean, Eric July says they're creatively bankrupt. And he was always right. But, man, it says it right even more so than ever.
Oh, yeah.
You know something I did not think about until you just said it? And I've actually covered it on the channel, that they do pop a rating whenever they do that. Whenever they have a gender swap or just like a #1 issue, it's the same thing. You pop a rating, speculators, and then the fake wokies buy it. But they're doing it at such a clip. Recently, it's almost like they're hot-shotting, and that's like a wrestling term. What I mean is, hot-shotting is when you constantly do things, the most shocking thing or the most extreme thing to constantly get attention. So, like you said, Tim Drake was just a couple weeks ago, and I feel like they're a couple weeks off of something else, right?
And you know what's funny? We don't remember it, Vig. Think about it. No one remembers it already.
We all know the problem with hot-shotting is it's the law of diminishing returns, because you have to constantly outdo yourself, and everyone forgets instantly about the one before and the one before.
They made Batman black. It just that didn't shock anyone. So they got.
We all saw it coming.
So they made because Batman was just black a few weeks.
So did John Kent.
Yeah,
he
did.
Coming too.
He did.
They did it the laziest way too, by calling him Batwing, name after his plane. They couldn't come up with anything else.
Well, no, so they did that in the show, but they also made him I think it's a different Fox son, but in the comics they made a different one. Yeah, I don't think he's gay in the comics unless they made him gay, which I think is the goal, because they got to have Batman and Superman fuck, obviously.
Once again, if they could just if they want to do that, create a new character of their own and make it popular.
See, that's the thing. That's a good idea. I'm glad you mentioned that, 70s. No, if they wanted to be genuinely, organically inclusive, they would have done that, because they could have given that community something to call their own, rather than giving them the sloppy seconds, the leftovers, the expired batch. But instead, they know that they can't rely on that, because they're not looking to be creative. They're looking at, okay, well, we still want to make the same amount of money, so we can't take that step of like having less money with a fresh new character, which they could maybe get overnight, maybe over an extensive period of time. But they don't think big picture. They think in small picture. They're thinking, we need money right now. We need headlines now. Although we need everything right now. We're not going to wait on trying to build a character. So we need the name. The name is what sells. It doesn't matter if there's quality. As long as we have the name, that's all that matters to them. Anything else is irrelevant.
Superman with kryptonite laced jizz, it would sell. We would not care after a week, because we've already seen Superman take so many unwarranted beatings from characters. Yeah, it's at this point, it's just like, it's another Superman take a beating that doesn't make any sense. Okay. I mean, it doesn't have to be even a beating. I mean, like, maybe they're like making love. Maybe Batman.
Dude, they should make love. They should make love. They should all blow their loads.
Dick stops working because there's kryptonite. Batman.
Dude, they should have done a 2 girls, 1 cup, except with 2 dudes, 1 cup, and the cup could have been like Lois or Catwoman.
Hashtag Batwaffle.
Yeah,
So
they had an opportunity.
Back to Pornhub. Which state is this the most popular porn in?
I think we should just try to ruin Matt's channel while he's away.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Fuck it up.
No, I don't.
I got the graffiti.
I mean, the graffiti. I feel like we are the graffiti. Like we just start talking about
faster than a speeding boat.
We'll start talking about facials and shit.
Well, no, stuff is fine. Just don't say anything against that.
Guys, facials are fine. We can talk about facials.
Skincare is good.
Organic facial.
There you go. Organic facial filled with protein and zinc. There you go.
Yeah.
There's no Matt or sentient dildo.
There is no sentient dildo. What the hell?
He's not sentient dildo.
This conversation was made for sentient dildo.
Yeah,
Well,
this is made for a self-aware dildo. Like, seriously, where are you, self-aware dildo?
Well, it's a Friday night. He's probably busy. I mean, a lot of lonely ladies all across the land, including Croatia. So I can imagine a dildo might be of service on a Friday night.
Yeah, so have we reached the point yet where has every character been swapped yet? I mean, have we reached the end yet?
No.
Because then we can start again, maybe.
Doctor Strange.
Every
then make
main
him a
character,
woman?
Because think about it, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man have all been swapped.
Vision. Who else?
Flash.
Well, no, Flash. They've had tokenized Wally West. They've had non-binary. Who has no legs? Flash as well. So
yeah,
Flash,
and
wait, what?
That's what I mean. Remember when I said they forget about this shit next week? Leave it to me to remember this.
Yeah, they sure did have a. They don't even bring that guy out, the little guy with the legs.
No.
What's his name? Wheelie West?
Really? What was his name? He just disappeared. But no, don't forget the guy who played Wallace West, or one of the tokenized.
Wallace West.
He was a tree. He's a tree. That's his gender.
Tree self.
Tree self. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do not within the trees of the trillions
He's
of genders
got wood.
that clearly exist.
He's got wood, all right.
You better stay away from authors. You better stay away from author Stephen Walton.
Stephen Walton, that's right.
Maybe stay away. Maybe we should try to set them up.
We should. Oh my god. Hal Jordan has yet to be. I mean, granted, he had his moment in the '90s when they did the whole Parallax thing.
Oh, Hal Jordan's going to be all right. You got to.
But then, Jeff Johns redeemed him. So now they need to fuck him up again since Jeff Johns successfully redeemed him. Now they got to fuck him up again. So, because the redemption.
Maybe they'll just get it out of their system one day and it'll be done. They'll be exhausted.
No, they'll never. Here's what I've learned. Like, and this is, Joe Rogan even said, he's basically been saying what I've been thinking. Like, these people act like they want to accomplish something that sounds good on paper, and then they get what they want, and it's over. But the thing is, it's never over. They will eat at everything until it's all gone. When everything is all gone, they're gonna kill each other last. And I don't want to honestly get to that point, because that means if they're eating each other, we didn't win. So I want to win. Damn it! Fuck them. Yeah. Why are we letting these fucking?
No, wait a minute, mate. I'm in the war games mode. The only way to win is not to play. So don't support them. Don't encourage them. We shouldn't even really be talking about them.
There's a fine line of talk about it. I agree. We shouldn't talk about it too much, but I feel like there needs to be talking about it to a degree. I can see where it comes from. Some of these, like, it should be to a point where every channel under the sun is talking about it. Mm-hmm. But it does need a discussion so people understand how bad it is. Because the thing is, guys, we're so deep in this, we see it as just another bad things. But to a lot of normies out there, they don't understand how bad this is, because a lot of them they're just that. They're normies. They don't see it the way we do, because we're not the normies. We're used to this. We've been dealing with this. We're a lot more, like, I guess you could say, desensitized. So it is a necessary evil that we talk about to some degree. Where that fine line is, I don't know.
And that's the
we're Go ahead.
I just wanted to say this point about normies and this gay Superman thing. A lot of people outside of this sphere were interested and talked about the gay Superman. That shocked a lot of normies.
Yeah, but you know what? The headline was gay Superman, not gay John Kent. That's when you know they needed the headlines.
Mm.
Oh yeah, they definitely needed headlines. Speaking of heldlines, comics division.
Oh shit!
Comics.
You guys doing?
AL Comics.
How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. A little tired, but no, I'm doing pretty damn good.
Pretty cool.
Well, you had to get up early today for FNT.
Yeah, well, there's also work too, but I mean, I actually took the day off because it's F&T.
Use that PTO.
Oh yeah.
There you go. So to kind of continue my point, and I'll get your thoughts on it. So my thought about the I get to a certain extent normies don't get it, right? I get that normies don't They're not going to know as much as we do. But to me, a lot of this stuff has become so common. How do you not get it? Because, Ghostbusters 2016 was in 2016, 5 years ago. They've been doing this year after year after year. So don't you think at some point, like, this shouldn't have been shocking even the normies that there was a gay Superman coming. But it was, and that shocks me. Even me.
Here's
even
the thing,
how
Fidge. Here's the thing. Your idea sounds right in theory, and it should be that way. But because they're normies, their attention spans are they forget what is said.
It's really shallow.
They're shallow. Thank you.
Care that much.
Yeah, they don't care that much. They're not invested the same we are. And I'm glad he mentioned that because that's the thing. Because the news changes so often, they blow something up for a few days and then move on to the next thing. Because they'll say, well, they're focusing on this, so I had to focus on that. The news, to some degree, has been complicit in making them forget about things.
Well, it's not about the news. It's about, like...
A few months ago, there was all this pandering. So don't you get used to seeing, this is just another pandering?
Nope, they don't.
No,
Trust me.
But they don't see... Like identity. So they're like, I like Disney. And that's it.
Yeah. They like Disney. They like Disney, or they like Superman, or they like that. One thing, two things.
It's easier for them to just be like,
they're not exposed.
I like this pro-positive culture and be part of it. And all the criticism is just people overdoing it. And they get to live a nice, comfortable, shallow life, skipping on the water like this.
So what are we talking about? Gay Superman? Is that the topic?
Yeah,
part of it,
I'm part of his gay Superman, and I'm not expecting everyone. I get and I also champion the fact that normies don't know most of this stuff, but like the thing is the LGBTQ thing. Like you'll see a pride sticker on Starbucks, and you'll see this. This is not something that's just on the internet. This is something that's pandered everywhere, and you would think I'm shocked that normies are shocked. I thought they were already used to this.
Always get shocked. And trust me, I work with a bunch of normies, and it's kind of like the whole, like, when politicians lie, they always act surprised. And I'll have to bring it up to them again for the 11th time. Did you already forget about this time and that time and that time? And they always act shocked. This is normies. Their attention span is not an attention
shocked
span.
In what way? Shocked as in surprise, or oh my god, this is wonderful?
It's more of, really, they just did that? I can't believe they would do that.
It's like,
I mean, for people who honestly aren't dialed in like we are to what's going on with pop culture, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, but that's the thing. We're dialed in.
I want them to be shocked, because the sooner they reject this stuff, the sooner we can maybe get back to normalcy. I mean, I doubt it, but that ultimately what's gonna have to happen is these companies are going to have to lose money, and the way they lose money is by shocking the normies. And it's like with my reaction to Gay Superman. It's like I'd be more shocked these days if they actually kept him straight than anything else. And I honestly, I got to the point where I just don't care anymore. I just want them to burn to the fucking ground.
Yeah, the problem is the normies. The normies are only seeing one thing at a time. Yeah. We see because we're on all sorts of different people's streams. I mean, I'm exposed to comic books. I'm exposed to Star Trek, Star Wars. What's going on with Kathleen Kennedy? A million things.
You're right.
I know who Kelly Sue DeConnick is, for crying out loud, and I didn't even want to know. But they only get a certain amount of this. We feel like we're under siege because we see it everywhere. They don't see it everywhere because they don't look.
Paying attention to it. That's kind of the greater issue.
It certainly doesn't attract them to buy it or spend money on it either, though. So it doesn't. Normie wouldn't see that. Hey, Superman's son is gay, and go, you know what? I must rush out and buy that.
I stopped.
They don't care.
Well, real quick, I don't want to go too far. I have it on screen. I do want to read the super chat, and then I wanted to just kind of clarify. And I hope I'm not just saying the same thing. But clarify what my shock. So,
by the way, where's Matt?
Matt is in Houston.
Oh, okay.
He's in Houston,
which apparently doesn't have internet or
any
modern technology.
Well, it is Houston. It is halfway in a swamp, so
that's true. That's true.
Hey, I'll be my future home, hopefully. So if the normies are like Marvel zombies and are turning on each other and eating each other, does that mean they're participating in unironic cosplay? Punkwado,
In a sense.
I would never have put it that way. But thank you, man.
I do like Marvel zombies.
I mean, so I get that. Okay, we are wrapped up in it, and I think sometimes, like I say, we forget that we're wrapped up in it. But like, and I get their attention spans are small, but it seems like it's such a common thing. Pandering in general seems to be such a common thing that it's not just you. There's pride stuff on like the basketball courts now. There's pride stuff when you go when normies go to pick up their kids from school. They'll see LGBTQ pride stuff. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't see the necessity. I mean, it's just.
But they do. So what I'm saying is, once you get to that point, then gay Superman, you should be. I mean, I'm almost asking why the plot isn't working. But it's like I thought you would have known by then that they would have a gay Superman, normie man. When you saw this, that, and the third.
Most people just don't care, man. This is a comic book character that's been around for over 100 years. Things have moved on.
No, I don't care about that, but I saw a lot of people react to this that don't normally talk about this stuff.
Were they rejecting it, or were they embracing it?
In rejection or shock or what?
No, did they know it was Clark, or did they assume it was Clark? And here's the thing: a lot of people they assume it's Clark.
Yeah, a lot of it was an assumption it was Clark and had to be clarified because they don't read anything. But it still was like a shocking thing, just like the death of Superman hit. Not that this is as big as that, but that was something that crossed over to where mainstream normies knew about.
I honestly don't think most normies know Clark Kent. I think they just know Superman.
Yeah,
I could be wrong on that, but that's what it's like Bruce Wayne. I think if you say that Bruce Wayne to your average normie, they're gonna be like, who? But if you say Batman, they're going, oh yeah, I know who Batman is.
Yeah.
I'm Batman.
It's their level of engagement with it is that shallow. When we refer to normies, we're defining a general group. The thing is that specifically we're talking to people who all these things like just another red shirt. You listed off all these things that you are aware of. You've even said in the past that
here's a perfectly good example when it comes to talking about like subcultures, and nerddom is a subculture. If I say rivet head, do any of you know what a rivet head is?
No.
Because you're not into industrial music. That's why, or goth culture or whatever. Yeah, but rivet head is somebody who's into industrial music.
I wish I knew who they were.
Most people don't know that because they don't know much about goth culture or industrial music or whatever. It's the same thing with comic book and nerddom.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with people not being into.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it.
And we call them normies, but there's nothing wrong with the people not being into that culture. They have a superficial relationship with it. They might go and see a Batman movie and they enjoy the movie, but they're not into it in that way. They don't care about the lore. They don't care about the there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, they're not going to compare. They're not going to compare this Batman with the last movie's Batman with Adam West's Batman.
Nope,
from
they
the
don't do that.
Everyone's got. Their
they don't
thing
do that.
Yeah.
But I'm not less talking about the comics things, just the exposure to the LGBTQ pandering that is everywhere in that.
Yeah, it's in everything.
I would think
that if it's in everything, it wouldn't shock you.
I would describe it not so well. It is pandering, and they're trying to pander. I would describe it more as a massive amount of patronizing condescension.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair.
I would go and also trying to reimagine society. What's that word? Reprogram. I feel like I'd go as far as to say it's a way of trying to reprogram society as a whole.
Societal engineering.
What they're trying to say is that certain groups or communities.
I know, and this is an extension of that. Obviously, it's not the root of it, but is it a symptom? Undebatably so.
Yeah, I think they're trying to say that certain groups or communities or people with certain immutable traits can only enjoy something if it's done this way, that way, or the other way. I don't think that's true.
No, it's
my
not.
lifelong experience of meeting
low-hanging fruit.
Squid Game is a perfectly good example of what we're talking about. With you don't have to look at the person to relate to them. I mean, because that show is just fantastic.
Yeah,
But by
I'm
their
not Hong
logic,
Kong
we should
Chinese,
have
but I
given
love
us
Hong Kong movies. You know,
I still need to watch that show.
It's pretty damn good, man.
I look forward to watching. No, my girlfriend started without me, and I didn't care. I was just like, "Oh no, go ahead and watch it." And then I also hear all these talks, and I'm like, "Oh, maybe I should have joined her." But now I'm like, "Crap, okay, I guess I'll have to check it out on my own time." So I am curious about it. It's got my attention.
But
I really want to see it. Go ahead, Codera.
by their woke logic, none of us should enjoy it because there's no representation for
Man,
us.
that logic.
Yeah,
We gotta
it's
stop eating.
logic. Yeah,
We want
that's
to talk
what I was
about
trying
something.
to say.
Nobody's
Stop
consistent.
platforming. We
You
need
know,
to stop platforming.
They don't
that
care
logic.
to be
Like,
consistent.
representation is a myth.
Nobody's
No one
consistent.
It is.
needs representation.
I am
to
also
enjoy
appalled by the lack of diversity in Squid Game.
Perfectly valid statement,
Are
given the
there
way that.
squids?
No,
No,
there's
there are
not.
no
no.
Okay, I'm not in.
You're going on an archaic
Octopi.
definition of
That whole
diversity
thing
in
gets
comics.
explamed in the first episode, but you know,
Okay,
I know,
if
of
it's-
course,
if
I'm
it's
joking. I
narrated
don't
by
care
Dave
that they're all
Attenborough,
Korean.
but there are no squids, I might be in.
David Attenborough.
Yeah, there's no squids in it. It gets explained in the first episode in like the first 5 minutes of why it's called Squid Game. But yeah, it's a good story filled with very complex characters, and there's you know, something for everybody in this show. I think it's great.
No squids. There's
No squids.
nothing for squids in it. No.
Oh, that's
No,
not
No,
exclusive
so
enough.
the game that they played as a kid, basically the shape of the game was kind of like the head of a squid. Basically, they played on like a, you know, like a in the grass, and they had like I want to say it's like a baseball diamond, but it's just like this game field that's shaped like a squid head. That's why it's called Squid Game, because that's what they called it.
All right.
It's worth a watch. 9 episodes.
Yeah,
Sounds like it's worth a watch.
I'm still on episode 4, and it gets you know, pretty brutal.
So I believe.
But wait, there's
You haven't
more.
made it to 6.
Oh yeah, I heard there's more.
Yeah, go there. No, it's not hentai game. I know you're in the it's not hentai game. Wrong
I
game.
mean, we do have Sentient Dildo finally in the chat. And,
Yeah, where were you?
Thank God for that.
dude, you're totally represented here. It's a bunch of dicks.
Where the fuck were you? Don't feel represented on this panel. I'm whining about Twitter unless you people do better. But yeah, that was the point I was trying to make earlier. Representation's always been a myth. We need to even just like, that's not true at all.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well,
you know,
yes, it is a myth.
But if you look back at some of the most popular movies of history, like, especially in this, what we'd say this community, OG Star Wars, for instance, nobody was asking, well, is the entirety of the audience of this just one sexuality, or it appealed to everybody? Everybody loved it. Nobody cared.
Yes,
There was
that's not
70s.
entertainment's
Fans
place.
from every walk of life.
70s. You're proving how, once again, the lack of attention
Nobody
span
cares.
normies have, because a lot of these, when we're told Black Panther is the first this, that, Shang-Chi is the first this and that, normies buy
true.
into that.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not true,
Dude,
but that just
nobody
shows
saw
you.
Shang-Chi.
I think people that don't think critically buy into it.
No, but you're missing the point, Ace. It's not about whether they saw it. Neither here nor there. The point is they buy into this garbage. I deal with normies.
Normies buy
every
into
day.
everything for
I
like a
know.
day.
Well, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they do, but
Yeah.
it just goes to show you. It's just like,
It means nothing.
did you forget? Like, we've had awesome, badass, like Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee types, and then
Yeah,
it's
they
like,
don't count. They don't count.
Yeah, but
They-
by
they
the
remember
standards
nothing.
applied today, I shouldn't be watching Hong Kong movies, and yet I
they,
love them.
they literally have modern celebs, access media, yada yada. Tell them, as long as they tell them what they want to hear, they will believe that, even if there's no evidence or anything to prove that. As long as they say it, that's their only source of validation that they need on their beliefs, their opinion, or whatever.
It hasn't just applied to movies and TV and comics.
Oh, it's
applied to
everything.
It's applied to music too. That's why there's
Oh,
been so
yeah.
much shit music bought over the years in the charts. You know, the
Oh yeah.
pop charts. But anyway, that's another subject.
Well, I'd say, I mean, considering that it more or less does connect to Superman, I'd say it does connect, because you this is the difference between fanboys and normies. We see it because, once again, we're on the inside. We see every aspect of this as possible, because what one fandom I may be into, comics or 70s, may be into another fandom,
and we both have our own reasons, some similar, some different, for why we're seeing something that we like being tarnished. And we're the ones on the inside dealing with it. And then it's just like, well, if I'm not dealing with something, one of you guys is dealing with something, and it trades off and so on and so forth. And normies just they don't care, and it sucks trying to get a normie's attention. I'm at a point where I might actually have some breakthroughs. I mean, fingers crossed, I might actually have some normie breakthroughs. I hope that they stick.
You have to, you know what? You have to do your duty to red pill a normie today.
I'm trying, man.
Yeah,
I
really
showed off a video today to a few Zers when they were giving Joe Rogan shit about the whole horse thing. We'll just say horse thing.
That's so bullshit.
And I showed them that video on Joe Rogan's podcast from yesterday. And one of the girls looked at it and she's like, whoa. And she said to me, they straight up lied about him. I'm like, yeah, you think? And she's like, you sent me that? I'm not answering those questions.
What was it? You took horse penis or something? No, sorry.
It's
a rumor.
It got her attention though. That's what's great. It got her like curious, and she's like, "No, who?" And then say, "Listen to the full thing with Joe Rogan. Learn about this, and
maybe give her like
a conversation lead,
like a full."
No, I did. I just gave her. I gave her 2 clips of conversations, specific conversations, because I showed her that clip again. But I also sent her the clip of when Tim Pool went on one with Jack Dorsey. I feel like that's a very effective clip to show.
Nick,
I showed her
the tip.
No, I got my own lady. I'm good there. I'm just trying to convince anyone I can. That's all I'm trying to do.
Red pill a normie. You must present them information, and they must.
And that's exactly what I did. I presented direct, immediate information I could show at the flip of a
switch. It's just getting some people to ask some questions, and it doesn't even have to have a particular direction it comes from.
Right.
Just ask some questions.
Well, it got
Why are they
her
making that
questioning.
character this? Why are they doing that to that character? If we want to talk from a pop culture perspective, but
but there's so much better content out there than caring about Superman, whether or not Superman is gay or not.
Undisputably so.
Like, why the fuck should they care? They shouldn't.
They
well,
should. Well, that's the thing.
But no, I'm shocked that they do. That's actually my point.
Hey, they care. That content is you've already answered your own question earlier. They just consume it because they're always they don't care. They consume it and they move on. They don't have that deep attention like you and I do.
And so what I'm saying is their attention isn't important. Attention doesn't mean anything. It's not like you and I buying stuff. It's not like you and I engaging in stuff. I've been watching Car Trek religiously, and now they have season 5 that's out, and season 6 is coming up, and they've got season 7 that's already shot for next. Like, these guys are doing stuff ahead of the game, and you look at like big production, and that's all on YouTube. You look at big production stuff, and they can do one thing a year. Like, like new media is better. And I agree. We should let the old stuff die. Superman will be back in 200 years, maybe 30 if we're lucky.
I agree. I mean, we gotta let it die. I agree with that, but we gotta also. There's a fine line of us laughing at and watching it rot, because we can't. We need it. There's a fine line of ignoring it, but we can't completely ignore it, because here's the thing: because that stuff is still considered part of the public square, and people need to understand why we see it as bad as it is. They're never going to understand unless they hear us out. Let's put it this way. I'll give you a great example. I've talked to another Zier who used to consume the hell out of the MCU. And she is now, and I've pointed out to her, like, this is where I'm coming from on a lot of these layered things. At one point, she didn't get it, but now with What If, I'm starting to see the pendulum shift the other way, and she was coming back to me with questions about like why this is that, and hey, why is Black Widow this perfect character and Hawkeye is just an idiot in this one episode? And I'm like, okay, see, that's good. She's asking the right questions. She's getting it now. So I'm just saying, like, it's tough to like get normies to pay attention, but try hard enough, someone will listen. It takes a lot of time. Trust me, I've been at this now for 2 or 3 years, and knowing you guys for the last 15, 16 months, obviously it's helped solidify my arguments. But I might have some breakthroughs, and I really hope they stick. But yes, there needs to be a line to talk about. Obviously, we can't talk about too much to a point where we're bringing them attention because, as it says, bad press is good press.
Yeah,
we gotta figure out is where do we draw the line? That's what we gotta figure out is drawing the line at.
Well, I think in general, and I'm sorry if I'm too loud because
you're perfect volume.
All right. So, in general, the thing is, like, we have to move the culture forward, like Ace said.
Yep.
The new media is the future because the kids, the youth, they do not really care about like terrestrial television. It's insane. Like,
which is good. In this case, that's a good thing.
That's still where most of the money is.
That's where the CNN,
because that's what's funded.
Certain advertising dollars are. Yes.
Yeah,
but you're right. They don't know what the word television is. It's TV. The same way they don't know what a cell phone is because it's an iPhone or an Android.
It's a phone.
It's a phone.
It's a phone.
Yeah, what, the house phone? Rotary phone? What?
The fuck's cord?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Museum.
The only right reason to plug your phone in is to charge it and back it up. What do you need a cord for otherwise?
Exactly. And sometimes you don't even need that. So yeah, like I think long term that they can't win this. I even say about streaming as it currently works, it doesn't math right. It doesn't even, it sounds like it maths until you realize you have to pay to produce the content and pay somebody, pay all the server fees, pay all this stuff. Or even if you're Amazon and they're your servers, those servers you can't rent out because you're using them. So I don't see how this money, like, the old entertainment services have to die because they won't be able to fund themselves.
Now, here's the thing, y'all. You're right, Vidge. You're 800% right. Here's the problem. How are they going to die if they keep getting bailed out?
Yeah, that's ultimately the problem, right?
That's the real root. Not the symptom, but the straight up root. Because that's think about it. If Hollywood did not get bailed out during the lockdowns, where do you think they would be right now?
There will be.
They'd be in a world of hurt, most likely.
There will be.
Yeah.
How many times can Hollywood keep getting bailed out? The problem is
as long as there's tax money is what I'm going with.
Yeah, tax money.
I second that.
All we need is an alternative. You let Atlanta or New York compete enough. New York's been trying for decades now.
Yes.
But the second you have a hub that can compete, tax money will go there because they can.
I hope so.
I mean, there's some cities that have basically been taking away from Hollywood. Obviously, Georgia being a perfectly good example of this.
Yep.
In some instances, Texas as well. But, Hollywood is still the majority where, films are made. And I guess New York is where the majority of TV shows are made. With the independent movement, with Netflix and all these streaming services, that's maybe changing a little bit. But in the long run, who's to say? I brought this up on, Friday Night Ties tonight. It's like the only thing that's going to cause these people to change is bankruptcy.
Yep.
And that's not going to happen.
That's comics. Sure? You're right. Like
competition will.
Competition will.
We need legitimate competition that's going to actually threaten them to get them to look twice, do the double take. Like, oh shit. They're actually giving us a run for our money, and we can't get away with our propaganda no more. Yes, you're right. Now, where does that competition come from? I don't know. Us. Hopefully, us is one thing.
Rippaverse.
Oh, God.
Berserker just showed us the template. I truly do believe.
Well, did you hear Rippa said he got a DC artist for his upcoming book?
Yeah, I did.
Shit. So he did. So that's good. He said he got a guy who got to him and reached in contact with him recently. And here's the thing. Even with those page rates are low, he's still going to be better than what DC is giving. So that is a big step in the right direction. Yes.
Yeah, you can afford comics. You probably could afford DC. Yeah. I mean, it costs
estimate
to get a comic drawn. Man, I saw somebody's page rate. It was like somebody.
How much were they charging page rate wise?
I thought it was like 500, which sounds like a lot,
Holy
but it was
500 per
really
page.
high quality artists. And I'm like, that sounds too low for how quality the artists was.
I've been
Depends
told
on the
about
artist,
25 to
'cause-
150.
I mean, if you're
I'm talking
talking
about to get no. This was somebody who was, I think, a Marvel artist. I remember seeing their
okay.
page rate.
Like a really good Marvel artist, or just
Yeah.
like Olivia Quimble Marvel artist?
Not like a Captain Marvel, fuckily face Marvel artist, but a real good one. If I remember,
I'm a Marvel artist.
Yeah, not Cal Arts Marvel, but like
I
a
like
solid
Nintendo.
Marvel artist.
Yeah.
That was 500.
Well, I
I'm
know
like,
that
man,
Luigi, who is in the Philippines, did the artwork for Brian Ball's comic, and I'm totally blanking on it. Rags, which is the artwork on it is absolutely amazing. If you guys haven't seen it, it's worth checking out. And I own a few issues. I think it's put out by Antarctic Press. And it's really well done. And I think Luigi was charging Brian like $99 a page.
Oh, that's affordable.
Yeah, very affordable. I mean, you could probably crowdsource, do a GoFundMe, raise the money, pay the artist, and get a pretty decent graphic novel if you know how to write.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to do is scout out a good artist at affordable rate and then hopefully get something made.
Dude,
I want to say that they found Luigi on DeviantArt. I mean, if you go through DeviantArt, you can find a lot of really good artists that are overseas. And if you ping them, I'm pretty sure they'll give you a really good rate, because obviously when they're overseas, like in the Philippines, I mean, $100 is going to go a long way there.
That's reminded me of how Dan Johnson got discovered. If you know who Dan Johnson is, he told me he lives in my area. He wrote a few image books, Extremity, Murder Falcon. He did Wonder Woman, Dead Earth for Black Label DC, and he's the writer and the penciler on all those books. And I asked him, because he lives in my area. I see him when I go to shows. He's at all the shows. I'm like, so how did you get discovered? And he said, well, I just posted art on a message board, and Robert Kirkman saw my stuff and he liked it, and he messaged me asking if I'd like to put out something for Image. And he said the only thing I had asked is if I put out my own stuff. And Kirkman gave him the green light to put out his own stuff rather than having work for him. And so he was able to have the ability to just put out what he wanted right away on his own time, on his own merits. And it worked out for him. Now he's been in the business since then. And he's one of the, granted, I know it helps I know him on a personal level, but he seems like one of the few guys who actually tries to communicate with his fans and not have his Twitter loaded with politics. He actually talks about comics on his Twitter feed. Daniel Warren Johnson is his full name. I just call him Dan Johnson because that's what he's known about in the area, is Dan Johnson. But yeah, he's nice guy. He actually even bought me alcohol at the show too. He bought me alcohol. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Good.
Like he was actually a really sincere guy. Like when I was at C2E2, which is the big Chicago comic convention in the area, Dave Mustaine was at that convention as well. And I was already in line, of course, to meet Dave Mustaine. Anyone who knows me knows I'm not going to say no to that shit, especially for free. So he's like, hey, can you give this comic to Dave? I'm like, yeah, of course I can.
So JM Cruz is saying for $100 a month, it's basically a month's pay. $100 is a month's pay.
Philippines?
In the Philippines, yeah.
Okay, I don't know what the Philippines economic system's like, so I couldn't say if that's good, average,
I
bad.
can't say either, but yeah, I mean, I know that probably translates over to maybe like a grand or so. Shit, let me go look up the conversion rate.
Do your research, as they like to say. Come on, comics, do your research.
I've seen this kind of a troll chat from Cinch and Dildo, but I am kind of interested in the result. If 70s is available, can you actually say Purple Burglary Alarm? Because I've seen this online.
$1 equals $50.71 in the Philippines. So $100 would be $507.01. Oh shit! No way. I'm sorry. I totally fucked that up. It's $5,000 $5,071 is what it is.
Wow. So that's why that goes up pretty.
We'll be there soon in America.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, could you say
a year, basically?
Purple burglar alarm.
And of course, Jam
but-
Cruz messages me
You
right
mean
now what it
purple
is.
Burglar alarm. Please break.
Purple burglar alarm.
Purple burglar alarm.
And when I was watching a
Purple
Squid
burglar
Game,
alarm.
when I was watching Squid Game, they're killing each other for like $45 billion. I'm like, that's probably just $45 our money. We can just give it
Yeah.
that.
If it's 45 million Canadian, that would be about $3.50 US.
30 million hours.
Not that US currency is worth anything now either, of course, but
No, it's not. It's not worth it.
Heading that way. It's definitely heading that way.
but you can print it faster than anybody else.
Buy gold,
Well,
silver,
soon it'll be
and
called the
crypto.
Biden
Yeah.
peso.
Biden peso. There you go.
You've got faster printers.
There's a reason why I call it American pesos. I mean, there's partially a joke, but it's also because of the inflation.
Biden bits.
Yeah, Biden bucks.
Biden bits, Biden bucks.
But like,
Yeah, well, I
inflation's
know,
also obvious right now. Like everything is delayed, causing tons of cost. Just get incurred. Like it's just
Yes.
like that's just natural. Like
I'm just not.
what would you want him to do? Like
I'm not
cut
excusing
spending?
Biden, but
That's that's something to do.
I believe that this is a problem that's been going on for decades.
Inflation? Not really.
No, currency that isn't really worth anything because it's got nothing to back it up, and they just keep printing money whenever they feel like it.
Yeah, that's
It's
not Biden's
he's
fault.
not the
I was
first to
blaming
do
the
it.
Fed.
No, that's been dating back to
Well,
decades.
it's not entirely
easing as
Biden's
we've
fault,
gone
but
for a
he's
while.
definitely perpetuated because they keep
Oh,
printing fucking money. Granted,
No, he's
they
a contributor.
really ramped this up under Trump when you basically had the COVID lockdowns. It kept going, and we're printing money, and the part of the reason why we're semi-resistant to hyperinflation is because we're the world's reserve currency. As soon as we lose that status, it's all over, folks. Your money's going to be basically
Man,
worthless.
it's gonna suck.
Yep.
It's gonna suck when China finally becomes a world reserve
China.
world reserve
Very few
currency.
countries want
It's-
that.
Speaking of politics, nobody likes harder hitting politics. The time for Midnight's Edge.
No, it's
Even
almost
Tom has been going,
politics.
let's go Brandon. So.
Yeah,
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's not
applaud
genetically
Tom on his
repeat whatever.
performance as
You know what's-
Olivia Newton-John today.
You know what's funny, guys? I don't know if all right. So I don't know how well you guys are informed on the dollar store, but my girlfriend informed me earlier today that the dollar store is no longer, not by name, but by selling point, the dollar store is no longer the dollar store. At least in Illinois. Well, Illinois now everything's at the minimum $1.29. Everything
It's been
out
like that for a long time.
See, in Illinois, of all the things, Illinois had everything at $1.
Well,
They
I
should
think
do
a
the-
lot of them were like that, but they've always had stuff that was over $1, though.
Well, they
Yeah.
had like Dollar Tree. What was it? Dollar General and Dollar. It was a Family Dollar, but they're not really dollar stores. Like
This
Now
I'm
they're not
used to
at
everything
all.
being $1 at the dollar store. I'm not.
best
Now they're
purchase you can make in the
everything.
dollar store are these reading glasses. They're $1.20,
Now
$1.50.
there's
Remember that
These are the
everything
best.
at the dollar
nothing.
store is made in China, probably by slave labor.
Yeah, including these glasses, which I like so much.
You fucking slave
I
owning
am.
bastard.
I
Say
am
purple burglar alarm. You can't, because slave owners can't.
purple burglar alarm.
Okay, maybe you don't own slaves. I think I understood that one. Damn it.
Yeah, it's more understandable than I see on the internet. I think the internet lied to me.
I wouldn't
Internet
want the
fucking lied.
I don't want the responsibility of owning other humans. I can barely look after myself.
I've been thinking about like what
The
should I
internet
stop
is not
buying
Isn't that what
from
marriage
China At
is?
this point, like we can't have a government embargo. That doesn't work. But we
Do
can have like
you
a
know who
personal-
actually has slaves? Gavin Newsom.
Ah,
Seriously.
that guy. He's
No.
the guy.
God,
Seriously, I mean, he
Explain.
has vineyards and he has illegals working there, and that's one thing. So if you watch Tim Pool's show, where he had the
Yes.
guy that used to work for the Mexican government and basically
Yes.
moved to the States, he was talking about Gavin Newsom and basically how he has these vineyards, and one of the things that they do when they traffic people is that they're basically indebted to people and they have to go and work it off. And so he has some of these people working at his vineyards,
It's the same aristocratic nonsense from the 1840s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
1840s outside of America, I'm trying to say, not inside
Elites
America.
are going to elite.
That would be
That's what they do.
Yep.
We've created a new feudalism in the last 50, 60 years.
That's
Feudalism
effectively
is alive and well.
Yeah, that's effectively indentured servitude.
Yeah, exactly.
Resistance is feudalism.
You're kind of not wrong, man.
No, I mean, economically, you as an individual have zero power.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, so yeah. But culturally, you know, to segue back to what we're talking about, culturally, you do have a ton of power because it's not just your dollar, but your voice that matters, as I think Nick was saying before. So,
yep.
You know, for the things that you want to steer the ship, you can't make a change, but you can start building momentum for people to, you know, move to one side of the ship and maybe start moving that boat the other way.
Yeah, and
it's not all
like
hopeless.
We're not asking, and it's not like we're asking for everything to be just straight white males.
No, that's the thing. 70s,
What
we
we're
never
looking
asked
for
for that to begin
quality.
with.
We're looking for quality entertainment, good stories, well
Sounds bigoted.
We're
no 70s.
No, I don't want to hear this bigoted
70s. You're right. Here's the thing: a lot of those people don't see it that way. They're so deeply rooted in their ideology, their way, their politics, or whatever you want to call it, that anything that isn't opposite of them, like, let's just give you like an example. Like, let's just pretend you work with someone who's a manager and they say, don't talk about politics. You think, okay, that makes sense at the job. Don't talk about politics. But then you see said manager talking about politics and he's a batshit crazy leftist. You're like, that was the same guy who said don't talk politics. But if you say anything of some point that's not extreme leftist, they're like, hey, why are you talking politics? They're so deeply rooted in their ways of life that to them, anything that they think that they find okay is okay. But anything that's different is the real translation of what is don't talk about it.
Right. So like the opposite also exists in the workplace. So there's a difference between like the workplace and culture. I've been in more than one work environment where I was the only person on the quote unquote left side of the aisle.
Yeah.
And I was just at, my cousin's bar mitzvah, and his parents are literally the only liberals in their community. And it was like the ongoing
like genuine liberals or extreme leftist liberals?
No, like genuine, like civil rights liberals from the 60s. Okay. That was the first that our grandfather could vote in.
You got my attention.
All right, real quick, Ace, I don't want to interrupt you, but I got a couple things, some housekeeping that I have to do.
You do.
One, I have to welcome our 10th panel member, George. George.
George, we've just been killing time till you got here.
Yeah, I know.
Thank God you're here.
Let the festivities begin.
Cheers.
Bring out the naked dancing girls.
I think you might be
George is here.
George? George got a bigger welcoming than I did. Look at that.
George, your audio is not on the show.
George had his first boomer moment.
Yeah.
That's weird because it shows. No audio, here's what's weird. Usually they show the mic is off. It shows on our side that it's live.
I think he needs to go and check within StreamYard.
There was an update.
Back out and
selected.
George, check audio settings.
Back out and come back in. How about
George has been training as a mime.
Okay, so George will be back. In the meantime, we had two super stickers I wanted to address. We have Mr. Tickle Trump,
nice,
properly symbolizing modern society with a poop emoji, and then Islington Girl, symbolizing a lot of us.
The Islington Girl.
Shout out to the Islington Girl, but she has the like drooly face emoji, which I know that's how a lot of us think when it gets too political.
Her sandwiches are top tier.
But yeah, I interrupted Ace for that. So Ace, I wanted you to go ahead and finish your thought. You were talking
It's too
about.
late. He's lost his train of thought.
Well, he was
No,
talking
go
about
ahead.
being a hard-
Let Ace go on because I want to hear what he had to
no,
say in
you know,
response
being
to
a
me.
liberal
I
in
was at
the-
this family celebration, and
Yeah.
all these guests, the big joke at this family celebration is that my cousins are the only liberals in the community, and everyone's making fun of their their liberal bumper sticker on their car because it's literally the only one out of a few hundred people who go to this synagogue. So it's like,
to be fair, all bumper stickers should be made fun of, regardless of political.
I think it's funny they have a bumper sticker. I wouldn't do that to a car, but the point is culture. Like culturally and in the workplace, you're going to see it on both sides of the aisle. There's really not one or the other taking control in terms of both media and then like pop culture. That's where you're seeing the left really come at it the wrong way. But I think there's another thing that we hit on before, which was the money aspect, that these guys are getting bailed out. And I think they're trying to justify the money they receive. That a lot of these folks don't believe this nonsense, but they're like, we're getting all this money. We have to like prove that we're, useful in some way. And so they just buy into this ever, building nonsense. I think that's part of it too.
Well,
I'd agree. Oh, 70s. Here's the thing. I'd agree. I really agree at that point. Like, it's just sad that this is what it is. God, now I'm losing my train of thought. I was going to say something. Go ahead, 70s.
Too much booze.
No, interrupt me. Interrupt me.
I think to Ace's point about getting paid, you see all the time with these C-level, B-level Hollywood actors and actresses and some music people who suddenly pop up with some hugely progressive statement. I think someone's paying them.
Oh, someone totally is paying them.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So much as it's like their managers, or if you're going to work in this town, you have to be progressive.
Yeah, I mean, you don't learn anything from them, and then all of a sudden, bing, they pop up with a statement, and they've never said anything in their lives
Bono's
before.
always been out there. He's always been a bit of a super lefty.
Yeah. He always has. Yeah, no,
so
I agree.
will only follow the trend and naturally go further and further left. I think several celebrities are like that. They basically, lick their finger, they stick it up to the wind, they see which way the liberal wind is blowing, and they'll go, okay, this whole progressive thing, white people bad, okay, I'm on board with that.
Yeah, no, they do. And I now remember what I was about to say. When I learned about, when I said to 70s about the hypothetical don't talk about politics, and then being so deeply rooted in their way of thinking, it was never about don't talk about politics. It was about don't talk about anything I disagree with. That should have been the real translation, but they don't want to say that. They won't admit to that. They're not capable of admitting that. We're dealing with a generation of people, some mostly young, but some now I'm experiencing in personal life situations who are even older. They make this a thing to justify, and how you try to we're trying to push the insane out of the insane asylum because the insane are taking over. They're at the top. We need to somehow push the insane out of there. And it doesn't matter if you're liberal, conservative, libertarian, independent, whatever. We need sane individuals back at the top of the world running this whole thing.
How about those cubbies? As a segue. Speaking of sane individuals, George is back.
Hey,
George.
Hey.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
He not only has a beautiful soul, folks. He has
Yes, we can.
Thank you very much. How y'all doing, Vigilante? Thank you. How are you doing, everyone? Justin, another red shirt. Tom, comics. 70.
Hey,
George,
doing good.
George, I have to ask.
Yes, sir.
When you stream, will you actually super chat yourself?
It's kind of like masturbation on the internet.
We were talking about shadow funding, and I wanted to segue you then. Like, speaking of people who shadow fund things, George.
Hey.
I guess you're not shadow anymore. Now you're just streaming on it.
No more shadow. No more shadow. How are y'all doing? What have y'all been talking about?
Gay Superman.
We've been talking about we all start with gay ass Superman, and then it transitioned into how to talk to normies about what's going on in the world, and we kind of translate into how
we talk about how people who are so rooted in leftist ideology don't want to listen. And I made a hypothetical example of like, pretend you work with a manager and they say, don't talk about politics. So in your head, George, you're thinking, okay, that's fair game. I won't talk about politics. And we're cool. Awesome. But the problem is then 5 minutes later, you see that same said manager contradict himself talking left and right about politics, and he happens to be from a super extreme leftist position.
Right, because
and
when
then
they
you're
mean
thinking,
don't talk politics, when they mean don't talk politics, they mean don't talk right.
Okay,
Or
that's
politics.
exactly where I was going with this, and that shows you how deeply rooted they are in their way of thought, their way of life. That they don't realize that when they say these things, they don't even mean what they say. They only mean it in a way of don't say anything that I don't agree with.
Right.
What is what they should say to begin with, because even though that is a really blatantly shitty thing to say, at least at that point, I will at least concede at least you're being honest, despite how shitty you are being.
Well, it's like, have y'all ever seen Crowder's "Change My Mind About Two Genders" video?
Oh,
I believe so.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I am.
I reviewed it like 3 days ago. I had seen it.
Did you really?
Yeah,
I'll have to watch that.
I saw it 3 years ago, and then I was like, I really want to see it again because now I'm on the other side, and I was like, I want to see a different perspective. And one thing you noticed is that the first individual, they disagreed, but was very cordial. Like, kind of like we used to be like, well, we fucking disagree on everything, but thank you. Nice to meet you. And the next individual, if you notice their word choice, every time there would be a disagreement, this girl would get onto it like railroad tracks. Like there is only one thought. There is only one way. Anything that is not here in front of me, kind of like also railroad tracks, but blinders for a horse, does not exist and is either A, racist, B, negative, prejudice, phobic, whatever. It's like, she's like, I only want to talk about the science. So he's like, cool. I like to talk about the science. Let's get into biology. She's like, you're not a biologist. Well, okay, you don't actually have to be a biologist. Like, we can just open up a book. Here it is. You know what I mean? It's like, so whatever they discuss, whether it's like what Nick just said, he's like going, does a boss say, don't talk politics? It's kind of like the same thing. Don't tell me about your relationships. I know this is going to sound really weird, but I feel leftists have become the hyper exaggerated version of bad girl.
You're right the first time.
Well, George, you're right. It's kind of like the whole Joe Biden thing. Everything that they said they feared Trump would do, they are becoming what they feared Trump would be.
Absolutely, yeah.
So projection.
Real quick.
I don't think it's projection. It's accusing your enemies of what you're actually doing.
That's the Alinsky.
Okay, comics, finish that. Who said that originally?
I don't know. Was that Rules for Radicals?
Yeah, it's Alinsky.
No. That was actually all the way back to Karl Marx.
Okay, so that was Marx. Okay.
So you have
that is all the way back. As I thought, I'm with you. I thought that was Rules for Radicals. It's not. That goes all the way back to Karl Marx. Part of his strategy for gaining power and implementing communism. Right. So it's projection if it's subconscious. Correct. Right? If it's a defense mechanism, a psychological defense mechanism, it's projection. When it's conscious, you are accusing that person of what you are in fact doing. That's not projection. That's Marxism.
See, it's like everyone's confused.
Wait.
My
Okay,
personal
I have to.
Truth.
I hate to cut off George. I hate George because you're awesome. But there's something I want to do because this is a critique I have of this community and other communities.
Fellowship.
It's
fellowship.
Community. I say what I please. Because
I do what I want.
I do as I please. No, community, fellowship, group, whatever you want to call it. Posse. I don't want to make the same mistake as my opponent. And what I mean is there is this dehumanization thing. We have to remember that there is a class. Most of the class of the people that are not us are normies. They're not leftists. They're not hardcore leftists. And it's very easy to say, this is what leftists do, and then prescribe the worst vestiges of leftism, then think that's the normal standard thing that we're getting. Now, are we seeing a shift towards that in normalcy? Yeah. But if you're talking about in general, like the average person who may have some leftist views, they're not really hardcore leftists. They're just
that average person also
say
has some quote unquote right wing views as well.
Right.
That's what makes them average.
Generic classic liberals who don't know what happened, don't realize that there's a radical left in charge.
At least when I use the word leftist, I mean a very specific group.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would say Democrat or Democrat with liberal views. Today, because you can't really tell, the Democratic Party has been co-opted by the radical left. So when I talk about,
I would say they kind of have.
You really
My
don't
old
think?
boss is
I think it really happened during Trump, but I think.
Do you know any blue
maybe
dog
now they're going to
Democrats?
try and part ways?
I know the
we'll
number
see.
one
We'll
blue dog
find out in the
Democrat,
next couple of years whether that's actually the case or not.
I know. It's just, do you know any blue dog Democrats anymore who could survive? The ones who were quote unquote centrist.
Well, the only one I would say that was relevant was Tulsi Gabbard, who basically just retired essentially.
Well, they annihilated her after she took down High Heels Harris. So.
Yeah. Oh man, and that was a beautiful destruction of Harris as well.
It was. I mean, that was exactly what kind of like who I can't stand, but who Chris Christie when he took on what was it, Marco Rubio, or during the first campaign, when they were having the debates, and it was either Marco Rubio, Trump, and Christie. It was it was Rubio, when it's like she threw herself on a hand grenade and was like, I'm taking her down. It didn't work, unfortunately, because I made her vice president. But I agree with Vigilante.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was the only way they could get her in at that point, is because of the fact that Tulsi Gabbard so thoroughly destroyed her.
Right. And then you had, who was the crystal loving wow woo woo girl who was like, I'm running for president.
Marianne Williamson.
I just can never remember her name. I mean, that's.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if people take her serious. I mean, America's into weird shit, man. There's at least 13% of America that would probably vote for crystals.
Well, there was a guy on Tim Pool tonight who was, the one who was next to Gary. He had that crystal hanging. I'm like, who is that dude?
Oh, that's Ian, probably.
Because I kept writing like,
if you're talking long hair, that's
no, not the long hair, the short hair guy who
Luke.
Shut up.
Luke.
Oh,
okay.
Luke is very libertarian.
Yeah, very libertarian.
It started reminding me of Hannity, who I stopped watching years ago because he'd have a guest on and then talk the entire time. Like, do you want to just put a little puppet over here so you can just talk at the puppet? I don't know. It was weird.
Luke is great. He's got his own channel. You could definitely say I could agree where you're coming from. He definitely did talk a bit much to a point where it overshadowed Gary at points, and Gary should have had some points. But Gary did great for the parts where he got his piece. Yeah. But Luke. If you follow him on Twitter, which you should,
I'll follow
he's
him.
Great.
Luke is great. He's very, very libertarian.
What's his last name so I can follow him?
Rutkowski. I'll send it to you in the private chat.
Yeah, I think he's Polish. Yeah, I mean, he's actually from Poland.
Okay.
Yeah. He's really interesting.
Super anarchy type of guy.
See, that's sometimes first impressions can be wrong. Thank you guys.
Every now and then, yeah. No. Once you get to see what Luke, the thing is, Luke is so invested on wanting to tear the establishment apart. He definitely lets loose. He's more loose cannon than per se.
Oh,
Gary.
God, yes.
He's definitely more loose cannon because he's so invested in wanting to win.
The establishment. He's gone up to politicians, like big name politicians, and basically called them out.
Really?
He's been arrested. He's been kicked out of the Bilderberger building.
So that was true. That wasn't like exaggerated.
No, that's all true, dude. Luke does not mess around.
No,
bravo to him. Then
he met Tim Pool during Occupy Wall Street before it went full leftist.
So Build-A-Bear now does burgers? Is that what you just said?
I call them the Build-A-Bears.
I want to build a burger.
I wanted to make shirts. I wanted to make shirts a few years ago and do basically use the Alinsky rules against them, but make Build-A-Burger shirts. Put each one of their faces and literally ridicule them, but make it so it could catch on. Basically, so it would annoy the hell out of them.
Oh no, I just want to build a hamburger.
I love Tom.
I feel bad. Yeah, that's why I made the joke. And honestly, I feel like Tom sometimes because it's like, yay, build a burger. Because I do that on my own channel 4 days a week, the Vigilante Williamson show. So the cheese holds it together. There you go.
I was listening, Tom, last night to your Halloween.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
We were
a while. Yeah.
3 hours.
I was like, this is like EFAT.
How was it, by the way?
I liked it, but it was a very diverse opinion across the board. It was probably one of the more mixed opinionated reviews we'd ever had. And it wasn't like so much anybody like hated it, and it wasn't like there was like this. It was kind of nice, actually. It was like there was a lot of debate going back and forth, and a lot of people talking about things they liked and didn't like, and it wasn't in a way that was really like, you know, with a lot of the movies we get nowadays. It's just it's nice and refreshing to see a horror movie just be a fucking horror movie.
So, it wasn't a commentary on January 6th.
I don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
What was that?
I
think she's
Jamie Lee Curtis. I think she ate too much fucking yogurt.
She basically said in an interview that it was inspired by January 6th.
So that's weird, comics, because it was supposed to be released a year ago. They would have to go out of the way to shoot more for that to be true, even.
Right.
Yeah. So here's what's happening, and that's a good point. These motherfuckers are lying. We saw this where Venom was coming out. Like, what happens is on these media press tours, either these woke leftist actors and directors and or these woke crazy ass journalists ask crazy ass woke questions, and then they just get to a virtue signal off and something wacky gets said that has nothing to do with the movie. That's what's been happening recently.
I sometimes think someone's paying these people off. I sometimes believe to do some of this.
Journalists, yeah, they get paid.
No, not the journalists, the actors, the celebrities, the producers.
I think it's part of their contract, man. I think it's probably recommended by their
to push an endorsement. You mean to push agenda?
I think they're basically told by not their producers or their agents to go and do this shit.
Because Venom, I went and saw it. It really wasn't. I mean, it wasn't.
That might be pushed by the studio. I think a lot of that stuff that they've realized is that if you basically indulge yourself in a little bit of woke marketing, you can make your movie critic proof by saying, "Oh, you hate gay people." It's the same thing that happened with like Captain Marvel. Like, you're afraid of strong women, you incel, because. How dare you criticize this fantastic movie? Well, the movie's shit.
Right, the movie was shit, but I've never understood that argument.
But they're trying to hide behind. Argument. It's just they're using it as a shield, is what they're doing.
They're trying to bulletproof the argument. They want to make it bulletproof from any type of critiquing of any kind.
Look what happened with Black Panther. I mean, as soon as it didn't get 100% rating, they basically called the person that gave it less than a racist.
Right. The argument that I've never understood is this: you don't like, you're an incel, you don't like women. Because I'm like, right after they did that with Captain Marvel, I just sat down for a minute. I'm like, okay, let's go through the list. Underworld, Long Kiss Goodnight, Princess Leia. I mean, it's like, it's how many Femme Nikita, Point of No Return, Colombiana, just on and on.
And that's where the logic kicks in, because you're naming all these movies that show that we've had these things for so on and so forth. But that's the difference between guys like you and I compared to normies. Normies can get told this is the first ever female whatever, and they'll buy into it just because they say it. Where you and I are like, hold up, you are denying this, and that. And they're like, and then the normie,
but they don't.
You and I corrected, but the normies do.
It's in one ear, out another.
Oh yeah, they don't buy it in that sense. You're right.
That's not buying it. That's letting someone pass gas without marking.
I like that.
Oh, dude, trust me. I've had people tell me, "How dare you?" I've been told, like I've been wrong.
Me.
Then those people have their own social issues that they're trying to stand.
And that's a lot of them. That's a lot of. Trust me, I lived in Chicago.
Especially online, especially on Twitter, especially on social media.
Yes. Now imagine Chicago, deep-rooted Chicago. I lived in Chicago, like the actual city. Not one of those people like, oh, I'm from Chicago, but I live 50 miles away.
Right.
I lived in actual Chicago, and those people are so they're so like. They don't want to hear anything that contradicts what they say, even if there's proof or something that goes against it. They are emotionally invested, as I've said to many. They're so invested in what they believe
that they've made it a part of their personality. And to change that would to be to change an aspect of their personality, and they can't concede to that.
Well, here's something, Nick. Here's something great.
Yeah.
How do people and Vigilante, I'd love to hear what you think, and everyone else, how do Democrats, liberals, and leftist activists who are in cities and or states that are completely ruled by one party, Democratic Party, Baltimore, Detroit, Chicago, and they go,
perfect.
Everything gets worse. There's no Republicans running this, no conservatives, no GOP. How do they balance those sheets?
Though here's the thing: as far as Chicago goes,
they just blame the Republicans.
They do blame the Republicans. I know that, but they still do that. You guys
understand that these parties are big tents. So when you go to like New York City, for example, the Democratic Party is a big tent of a lot of other parties. So, like for example, my sister, school teacher, she votes working families. Okay. It's a totally different party, but they happen to always be aligned with the Democratic Party on every other issue that would matter anywhere else. So, like, there are tons of little parties, and every city, every state has their own nonsense. And it doesn't matter if it's the left or the right. You go to the Republicans, they also have their little groups.
Right, but I'm talking about when you have what I would call like a super city or super state, which is run totally by one party.
Okay.
Like when you have a state that's run completely by any one party, and it over 30 years.
Chicago is a good example. We're talking more than 30 years. Chicago, here's the thing of what I've learned with trying to talk to Chicago people. Everything that goes wrong is Republicans' fault as long as the politician that they worship like their God. As long as they say it, then they will blame them without question, without trying to get from point A to point B to show the reason or logic of how they get there. As long as they say it, that's fine. That's all that matters to them. It's the Republicans' fault. They don't put two and two together like, hold on, this person I voted for is contributing to this thing that I don't like. They will never, they're not capable of that. They're just not. And it's funny. And those same people who will say everything is political will get mad when you point out that the politician that they voted for, well, you're like, well, because this is who you elected for. Those same people will say, oh, don't you dare make this political. Yeah, that's the same
whole country. That's literally the whole country with like congressional approval.
Maybe,
everybody hates Congress, but everybody loves their own congressional member.
Right. You know, like that's because they view them now like sports teams. That's the problem. It's evolved into, we need to get back to a place where we no longer care what the jersey is that they're wearing, what letter they have on, and just look at the policy. Not even the person.
It'd be nice to just have a little bit of competence for a change, Well, competent people who know what they're doing.
You look at the policy. Now, how do you get back?
I think you have to get rid of corruption to have competence. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's been for decades now.
George, you're right. We got to get rid of the corruption and we got to have competence. Now, here's the thing. We're in the day and age where if you have nice words that talk like Barack Obama, they don't care what policy you have as long as you talk nice.
Like look at the $600 IRS thing. That was originally in Obamacare. It was in there until the GOP slaughtered the Dems in the midterms. And they immediately, the first thing they did was they stripped it out. Within 30 days of Biden being in office, they shoved it in the House right back in. And I'm like, so that right there tells you who's the real president, not the kitty sniffer in chief. I mean,
the president's not supposed to have the most power.
Right.
You're right.
But we've become an executive-heavy presidency right now. An executive. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we have a very weak president. I think we've had a series of very weak presidents, despite their bluster.
Well,
and the only thing is, we have two very opposed parties. Mitch McConnell happens to be a master of party politics.
I hate
the Democrats.
Right.
Mitch McConnell is just a for sale sign with an
He's a bottom bitch.
He is.
He's just very rich.
Speaking of for sale signs,
they've delivered on so much of their party's platform.
I know.
That's all that matters. You say you're going to do something, you fucking do it. Democrats haven't been able to do that for a very long time, and that's why they, try to go very drastic. Because it's all or nothing for Democrats at this point.
Except they're going so. Okay, go.
It's not a good idea. I don't agree with it. I haven't worked for the party in 5 years.
Right, but look how far they've gone. You see the polls the way they're going. I know they no longer care about the polls for whatever reason. but it seems that they're going off the cliff. They're doing what. Okay, everybody does this when they get too much power. And Mitch McConnell, again, he's just an ass in the air with a dollar sign. That's it. He couldn't care about. He's uniparty hack. I despise the uniparty.
Yeah, he's bought and paid for, and you know what? It's good to get what you fucking pay for.
If we got it ever, we don't get it. No one.
Yeah, look, you can buy Mitch McConnell, and
we're
buy Mitch McConnell. But
we're not the ones paying for it.
Yeah,
we can't. I mean, we are through our tax dollar. Well, not really. It's
no, we're not paying for Mitch McConnell with our tax dollars.
No.
He's just spending that.
That's Koch brothers, Chamber of Commerce.
But one thing people are paying for, because I've been missing them, and because I'm not trying to bully people, I want to let you guys talk. But people are paying for super chats, and I do want to read the super chats.
Any politics chat?
Oh my God, you bully, you terrible person!
I have
my feelings are hurt.
Well,
I'm triggered.
I'm glad you guys.
I only have triggers.
Come on.
As a capitalist,
They need to be heard, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, go
What about Brandon?
capitalism.
People love the Brandon.
Yeah, speaking of one of our super chats is 0 hour discussion with JM Cruz. 50 pesos. He says, George, Brandon made me do it. Let's go, Brandon. Hashtag. Another super chat that I was trying to get, but I lost. Punk Waddle sent the super chat. Was Nick Weiser flavor, false seasonal, normie white chocolate, cherry poppin' daddy.
Wow.
So there's a Nick Weiser
Hey,
flavor.
my flavors are only supposed to be for comics division. Just kidding. I'm a Dick's division exclusive.
It's an exclusive deal.
I'm exclusive Dick. So
Punk Waddle. There you go. I don't know.
You give that
Your
money back to
flavors
comics.
cannot be contained, Nick Weiser.
Nothing can contain the Nick Weiser. We got just a 100 super sticker from
I'm
E-Play
drunk.
Thompson. Hey,
Cheers.
I'm making my way there too, buddy.
Oh yes. Oh, salute, Ace. Salute. Red shirt. Salute. Oh, dude, I've been drinking since 9.
That off a bit.
I've been drinking since 9, and I'm still going strong. It's been
Oh,
beautiful.
I've been drinking since the start of the stream, so
Ah.
yeah.
I started when I jumped on. I'm hitting the whiskey tonight.
Oh, you do?
whiskey.
Nice.
I have a lot of really nice Japanese whiskey.
Oh, that's some really good stuff.
It
I
is
want
good stuff.
that.
It's pretty fucking smooth.
Are you poor life
For
decisions
whiskey,
drunk
that
now?
is. What?
Are you poor life decisions drunk now, or just
No, not even close.
No.
Not even fucking close.
Well, he's on this show, so he's already made poor life decisions. Speaking of
I'm
poor life
friends with
decisions,
Vigilante Williamson talking about poor choices. No, I'm kidding, dude.
I literally couldn't hear what you said because we're all talking over each other as usual. The left's Mr. Tickle Trump with a $5 Canadian super chat says that the left version of the right's people who believe anything crazy, give me money to say Satan a black eye.
yeah.
The church believes them too. Well, it turns out everything was Satanized. Illuminati's real, so that's kind of a push.
Do you mean the Catholic Church, or like a different other underground secret organization that rules everything, that does terrible things?
there's more?
There's a few of them.
There's a few.
They're almost-
The Catholic Church hasn't been that in 1,000 years.
So,
I mean,
and who
over the
said
past
the
7 years in France, they've been something.
while you lot have been talking about politics, me, Mr. Tickle Trunk, and Sentient Dildo have been discussing the relative merits of Rona Mitra against Kate Beckinsale.
Case
Rona
Beckinsale.
Mitra
Far
wins every
more
day.
important.
Can somebody bring up pictures?
You need to watch
Rona.
Hollow Man, Rona Mitra's tits.
Rona,
yeah.
those were before the boob job.
Great
Now you
movie.
got to see Rona Mitra later.
Rona
Rona
Mitra.
Mitra.
I'll
Look
get
at
He's
her
a
in
Kate Beckinsale kind of guy.
Go pull
I got a
pictures
couple
from
more
Nip Tuck.
super chats, and then I'll pull up.
I like
thing.
both.
I like both together. I think they should be together.
You can't like both.
I like
Have
Rona
to
Mitra
choose.
much more.
Well, speaking of titties,
limited in your opinions.
I think Manflu says it isn't for sale cheat tattooed on Kamala Snatch. I guess it's not that deep. That pussy got her the vice presidency, so I mean she's doing something right.
I don't even know what
She's
to say
doing
to that.
someone right.
Someone
doing
right. There
something.
you go, 70.
Listen, I don't trust her to know anything about anything pertinent, but she knows how to
She had
She knows how to do the grind.
No, she knows how to.
People do know.
Well,
She knows how to pass an oral exam.
Right.
Yes.
Since when do you have to pay Since when do you have to pay child actors to show how much they love you? Come on. That's really low.
That is so weird. That is like legit so fucking weird.
I mean, I was like, where's the Pravda symbol, you know?
I mean, at least fucking George Bush went to kindergarten and go read them stories and shit.
Right.
Read them books upside down.
Actors that he went to go and shoot his fucking photo off. That's ridiculous.
Right, but that whole thing of what do you think? Well, hold on, let me read my script. 1 second. Oh,
the script says I'm not supposed to take any questions. And where am I again? What am I doing?
Holy shit! This says
am I the president of the United States?
I mean, I try to tell my Democratic Party friends what does it feel like to have the party run the country? And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like,
that's a normie argument.
Well, it's not fun from my perspective.
Well, it's because you're paying attention. There's a difference between a normal left-wing individual like you who's paying attention versus someone who's a low-information left-leaner.
I mean, that's pretty charitable. I think you could just call me left. I don't know about normal.
Well, did you just say earlier that you lean left? If I'm wrong, I do apologize. I do apologize.
I'm definitely more on the left than the right.
Okay,
I mean, that's fine.
He's not sure about the normal part.
I'm not sure about the normal part.
I would say, I feel like you come from a normal sense, at least compared to the fucking loonies who are taking over the asylum.
I'm very well grounded.
Okay, you're grounded, but the thing is, you actually, if you and I could have a conversation, I'll bet most of the people who you're talking about, I couldn't have a conversation with them.
Not my buddy Jake. No, you couldn't. He's real tough. I'm about the only one who can talk to him, and it'll be 3 hours of him spewing nonsense. I'll have to be like, you don't really believe this. I know why you're saying this because this is where it comes from.
I've got my equivalent. I've got my equivalent to that, but I believe you. No, I sincerely believe you.
It's that kind of
dude
false world in terms of where the leadership is.
Well, once again, as long as the powers that they're gods that they believe in say that inflation is good, then they'll believe that inflation is good. As long as they say the economy is fine, it's whoever they validate is they can say anything, and as long as they say it.
Have we ever been in a time where anyone said inflation was good besides now? I mean, that's literally where Allison went.
I don't recall, but I think that is like the epitome of
things
shill.
over the decades.
There's only a time
inflation is fine. It's no big deal.
Who said inflation is good?
Yeah. I think it's
Bloomberg.
One at a time.
Published.
Saki, whatever her name is.
She said that. Yeah.
History Media had.
Bloomberg published an opinion article that said America needs higher and longer inflation, and the Washington Post.
Make more money.
This is what's happening, and we're just letting you know. We're trying to force you to like it. Speaking of inflation,
they legit think people are that stupid because they said inflation means you'll be making more money. It's like, do you think that the American people are retarded? Because I'm sure that there are some out there that will buy it, but most of the people who are above average intelligence will call bullshit on that.
Yeah, I mean, the definition of it is that yes, you will potentially buy new numbers, make more money. But as you do,
your
that
spending power is not the same.
Right, exactly. Isn't buying more. It's actually buying less. Because all the other fucking prices have gone up.
Okay.
And they never go up together or in the way that we as consumers like.
You know how we heard this week that there's going to be a quote unquote shortage for everything come Christmas time, holiday time. Okay.
Welcome to Russia.
They're blaming it all on COVID. You know what the real deal is, which again, anyone can go research it. It's one of the problems is the fact that you have everything on the piers in California. They're stacking up, and then they said we're going 24 hours, 24/7. We're going to get more workers. Well, half the employees are gone, half the trucks are gone because of the deal that they cut with California for the emissions. None of the new trucks, they had to wipe half of them. They can't do any deliveries unless they meet 2021 standards, green standards.
That I didn't know. I just knew that the container ships were basically parked out there, and they were problems on offloading things.
And who do you think it started? cigars. Think about it. Who do you think?
Ruining my life.
Well, it doesn't serve anybody.
Actually, it does. It serves the company who can sit there and just keep jacking up the price as demand.
It serves the company that can do it the longest.
Correct.
And
but it doesn't serve anybody else underneath it. And
no, not at all. I agree with
you. That price game.
But they don't talk about that.
Want to engage in a price war.
Well, yeah, they do.
No. They want to find a niche where they can compete. Price wars are bad for everybody.
I agree, but I think there are a lot of people who think they're good. Not
one of the arguments.
And they're just idiot business folk.
I agree with you, but I think that it hasn't been discussed. And I was reading about it. I'm like, half the trucks. Like, again, it doesn't matter if they got all the employees, half the trucks. The trucks won't be ready for 5 to 6 months. Ergo, why?
Wait, hold on. The argument is a genius. Inflation is unvaxxed people's fault, obviously. I fucking love you.
The argument
and the only people who are unvaxxed are alt-right.
Alt-right, yeah.
Obviously.
I
only ones.
Thanks for letting me know.
Right, real quick, I do want to read this last super chat, and then we have somebody who has to go, so I have to do that. Or real quick, Mr. Tickle Trunk said, "Take my money, you bullies," and it has. I had it on the screen. I just wanted to.
I love
make sure
Mr.
we got
Tickle
Trunk.
We can't let Tom go without him singing something.
Come on, Tom.
No.
I blew my voice out earlier.
Batman voice?
Xanadu, come on, give us a round of applause.
Yeah.
There we go.
Congo.
I want a Shatner, no happy birthday, Shatner.
Yeah.
Well, I did go to space.
Just.
There
Did
you
y'all go to space?
I did not go to space. Space time.
You know who else didn't go to space?
Who?
George Takei. I like saying his name wrong, so Takai.
Is it
And I heard he was very upset that he didn't get to go up in the big penis.
No.
I was
The guy likes to ride his cock.
So.
Oh
Next thing you
my.
know, I'm in some spaceship that looks like a dick.
No, come on, it wasn't that funny.
I did. I don't know why.
It was that funny.
The way he does the voice is just perfect.
Yeah, he's really good at that. Tom's really great with impressions.
You are good, Tom. Anything?
What's
Say
your
he's been pretty quiet because
Well, when we got up there was a distress call you don't know about. We happened to be the only one within the vicinity. We had to go get a whale.
Named Kelly Sue DeConnick.
Oh, I was supposed to
Not a whale.
She's lost weight. She got that skinny, like just lost weight look. Like lost too much weight look.
She's got a weird looking face though. It's Gail Simone who's the whale.
She looks like a gerbil in the face.
Whale Simone.
Whale Simone.
There you go.
But look at her face and put it next to a gerbil. It's kind of like a
gerbil. She's got a weird face, and that haircut that she has does not help it.
No.
Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
No. That is not a flattering hairstyle.
No.
Her mouth doesn't help either.
Ask Kamala.
Yeah, I was just about to make a Kamala joke.
I was going to say her personality also doesn't help.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Let's have a round of Kamala Chameleon. Kamala Chameleon.
Oh my God!
Well, but I have to say,
whatever happened.
I have to say, it has really been fun watching Kelly Sue DeConnick discover what karma is.
Oh, it's fucking great.
It's a female dog, right?
Yeah.
Something fake that hippies.
I think when you tell people, if you don't like what I'm doing, don't buy it. I mean, they'd stop buying it. That's
and she seems so surprised.
I mean, she
this is the problem with Bubbles, right, folks? Is the idea is that at that time period when she said that, she figured she can get away with it because it wasn't a big deal. Her book would still sell. It was these fat neck bearded incels that were having problems with her books and the politics and et cetera, not realizing it was the majority of the comic buying public. And now she's at the point where it's like, well, Bitch Planet's canceled. She's not working on Aquaman anymore because no one was fucking buying it because she was on it.
Right.
And what is she doing now? Absolutely fucking nothing.
Her next comic's gonna have a cover. Will suck if you buy. I mean, there's nothing left.
Well, the problem is that she pissed off everybody, and anyone who is smart in the industry right now is going to go and fucking self-fund or not self-fund, crowdfunding their next book. And the way you do that is by not pissing off the people that buy comic books.
The problem with what George said is, she did put, Will sucked if you buy this comic, and she meant dick, but people just meant that the comic would suck. and of course they were right, but I mean, you can see the confusion.
And is a BJ from her worth it to read like gay Superman?
She might bite the shit off.
She probably doesn't do that to Matt Fraction. That's the thing, Vince. She's married to a competent.
Not only
writer.
that, she's probably one of those bitches that turns you off before she even starts. She's like, I don't want you to grab my hair and don't touch my face and don't touch my head
and stand in the other room.
Don't come in my mouth, okay? And whatever you do, don't come in my face. And don't look at me when I do it. And
turn no facials.
And wear this mask of Ryan Reynolds.
I never listened to that rule.
I bet she's a
my
screaming bag of fun
my
in
dick
bed.
soft. Get the fuck out of here.
I think you're wrong. I think she's a big bag of fun in bed.
Yeah,
screaming.
Doubtful.
That's thing where it's like when people tell you that
shit
crazy. You're telling me this way too late.
Now, if you said Amber Heard, I'd believe it because real crazy is a
real
crazy.
Yeah, but
Conic is just a bitch, right?
Speaking of Amber Heard,
she's an annoying cunt, is what she is.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's an annoying cunt.
Is it true she actually took a dump and it was videoed? I keep hearing that online.
The Amber Heard thing. Well,
no, there's a reason why she's called Amber Turd.
Amber Turd. No, I was going to bring up. She obviously cut off my man's finger, Johnny Depp, but she also almost blinded Aquaman on set. Did you guys hear that?
No.
Yes, I heard about that. And news is protecting that shit like crazy.
What did she do
with his eye?
With the eye.
What
stuck
happened?
her tongue out.
I don't even know if it's been reported.
I mean, if it was like a boob, hit, that's okay. But are you saying like?
Well, yeah, of course that's okay.
It was a prop, if I remember correctly.
Damn.
And it was something like he was on Instagram. Jason Momoa was on Instagram, and he something was going on with his eye where it was like half closed, and the rumor was Amber Heard injured him on set. So yeah, she keeps fucking dudes up and just getting away with it. Let a man abuse this many women.
Shit. Oh God. Well, come on. Well, we have Ezra Miller.
How much money does the man have?
Yeah. Well, come on.
Not enough.
There's always enough.
I think it's one of those things today, kind of like what Dave Chappelle said in the opening of his special, where he's like, he was talking about how Baby went and shot. He goes, Baby went and shot a black man in the grocery store in the Walmart. It was something like that. He goes, and his career is fine, but he goes, you make fun of gays, fuck, it's over.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think it's the same thing. It's like the woman can get away with abusing a hell of a lot of a man. But a dude does it today, and it's like, yeah, even the smell of it, and you're pretty much.
Well, think about it. You set up a scene where a wife beats her husband over the head with a frying pan. It's funny, right? It's never generally played in any other way. Right. But now, if a man turns around and does that to his wife, no, that's not cool. It'll never play off as funny.
To be fair, Mr. Tickle Trump brings up a good point. Amber has smacked up women.
Oh yeah. No, and what actually happened, George, is she took a shit in the bed.
Oh.
And
he's just like, oh man, that's shitty.
The pictures,
George,
yeah,
Midnight's Edge has some great artwork that they use to accompany that when they talk about that story.
I'm gonna have
Tom, the artwork that you have of when you put on Midnight's Edge of Amber on the bed.
So she's one fly over the cuckoo's nest like crazy. She's
like completely fucking crazy.
Because I was married to a crazy girl. They're great in bed, but like that's crazy. That's like, you gotta, the Shining and stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
did she perfect
artist rendition. This was a police artist rendition of the song. It's not some kid.
It's perfect. Yeah.
Accurate.
Did she record it, or it was Depp who?
No, some maid supposedly took the picture. Yeah,
the maid took a picture because they had to clean it up.
Wow. And how are they putting her in Aquaman 2 with the same person that she's injured his eye?
Because her tits
George. That and also,
Well, according to
again,
him, it was an accident. He walked into a door. She didn't do it.
Oh,
She didn't mean to do it. She loves him. You know.
He fell downstairs.
I thought
It's
so.
not
Is it not true in Hollywood anymore? How
He
the
deserved
actor
it.
with more cachet or more star power can do what they want to do? Like he can't go behind the
Sport
scenes, get rid of
power
her?
and political view. I mean,
Yeah,
here's the thing.
Politics
gotta
now.
be
Yeah.
victimhood.
Victimhood. She has the whole idea of I'm a woman because I'm a woman. I get the automatic benefit of the doubt. It doesn't matter how much footage has come out showing that she's the one in the wrong because her view is considered. The thing is, we're in a point where remember when the whole idea, the concept of what goes on outside the courtroom does not influence. Well, now it's hit the other way around. And it's hit the other way around, not just in the courtroom, why they just won't convict her already, but it's happening in Hollywood. They're like, no, we can't get rid of a woman off set, otherwise we're gonna be called isses and phobes and isms. They're so living in fear just by a simple. They could.
I have one. I agree with you. I agree with you. I have one question for Tom before he leaves. I grew up watching. I grew up watching reruns of The Honeymooners. You ever think something like that could be filmed anymore?
Fuck no.
Oh hell no.
To the
Like even
moon,
though they
Alice.
did that
Jackie
movie a couple
Gleason.
years back, they had to tame it down. Yeah.
I
Not
know,
a
which-
snowball's chance in hell.
I loved that show when I was little.
To the moon, Alice.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
I was like, how would they film that? I guess.
Sexist.
Well, because he never hit her. It was just always that,
To the moon.
joke.
Is that threat? Right.
Yeah, he never hit her, that feminist. He should have,
No,
equal rights, equal lefts.
He did that like Simpsons Shelbyville thing. Like, keep on waving at him. Wave harder. Shake your head.
Yeah, that's why he kept getting lip. That's a joke, by the way.
Yeah.
No, it's not. You're
Well,
serious. You
I did
Well,
like.
Well, this is Fireball's channel, so blame him. The
Where
views
is he anyway?
expressed. He's in Houston. He's in Houston.
Doing
He's trying to
what?
get his dick sucked.
I think he's
It's not working out.
maybe.
Here in like
Maybe.
20
No,
He's
he's
getting his
playing-
hair did.
He
No,
was
I think
offered
he's
a
doing-
chance to play a dining table and he took
I was
it
just
because it was
thinking
good money.
He's gonna get his mohawk waxed.
There you
Oh, my
go.
God.
No, I think he's doing like a Renaissance fair or something. I don't know.
The Ren
should put
Fair,
this
yeah,
part
that's
right.
but that's in Brownsville.
Ah,
Oh,
he did
TRF. That's in Houston. That's the Houston area. Fuck, I don't remember.
Is there a new one? Because the one I always went to was in
TRF.
Brownsville.
Well, I don't know.
The Ren
It's like
is
right
not
outside
there.
of
It's about 40
Houston.
minutes. Yeah, 40 minutes. Or it's
Yeah.
in Conroe. I always forget if it's Conroe or Brown. It's Conroe. New Braunfels. That's where it's near New Braunfels. I think so.
No, that's a different one.
Okay. This is the October-November one, right?
Yeah.
The Renaissance Festival where everybody's all. I went there once, dressed a Braveheart thing with the
I've
kid.
never gotten Renaissance fair.
It was fun.
I'm-
Big turkey.
I'm not
grill.
trying to stereotype. There's just because I have seen black people in the Renaissance fair.
There are a lot
Oh,
of
I
them.
have
I'm
too.
just
Oh,
not.
I
They're
see.
the ones with
Tomball. It's in
They're the
Tomball.
ones with the bigger cod pieces. Vigil.
Yeah.
I don't get Ren Fair stuff, man. It's just not my. thing.
I go to the Renaissance Fair, and I mean, granted, I'm in Illinois, and it's near bumfuck of Wisconsin, but I've seen Asian, I've seen black,
yeah.
I've even seen Latino.
Yeah,
Everyone.
And
Like the
I've
best
seen
thing
it.
I've ever seen is like there was this black guy, and he had like he was wearing a white wig, and I was like looking at him, I was like, oh, he's a drow. I was like, yeah, that's awesome.
All of Wisconsin is bumfuck, dude.
It's but sure, you're right. I would know. Trust me, I used to go to freaking even Appleton, and it has parts of it that are bumfuck. But anyway, neither here nor there.
Anachronism is not
anyone
Vidge's
looking
thing,
forward to-
guys.
Anyone
No.
looking forward to Dune?
Yeah,
I
I want
will-
to see it.
watch it.
I'm slightly curious because it has mixed reviews. Because of its mixed reviews, it makes me more optimistic. I'm at that point where mixed and negative reviews have my attention. Kind of like with Ghostbusters Afterlife, it's getting slanted. I'm like, okay, so that must mean that it's good, that I must see it. And now because of those bad reviews, I cannot wait for Afterlife. And I'm at that point a little bit with Dune. I'm a normie when it comes to Dune. I don't know shit about the book, but the mixed reviews say, you know what, Nick, you might want to check this out. And you know what? I live by a movie theater. I should check it out.
But you know what? It's a really hard book to get through.
I like
Is
it.
it?
It was
yeah,
hard.
and,
It was
and I
hard.
like books, so I don't
agree.
know. I don't know that
Yeah,
they're
it
gonna be able
is.
to
It's
condense this story
Yeah.
well enough into this product.
If it's
yeah, it is a very dense book.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know
a
how
dense
they're going to
book.
do the rest. I don't know how they're going to do the rest if it
Yeah.
succeeds, because you'd have then what God Emperor is next.
Would they be able to fund it?
No, it's
because
Children of Dune,
Children
Dune
of
Messiah,
Dune Messiah,
then
got it.
God Emperor.
Because how would you film God Emperor? I have no idea.
With Trump.
Well, first off, you have to get Donald Trump because he's the only God Emperor.
The best. Hold on. I am the God Emperor. I am the Emperor.
Look at these dunes; they're huge.
The best. These dudes are huge. Not huge. Huge. The Y U G.
Did you see what New York did to him? Did you see that taking away all his contracts for all the stuff he rebuilt, the ice rink and the
Ice rink? Yeah.
Wow, they're so petty.
I mean,
I don't
okay.
personally do Spice, but I hear Spice does a lot of good for the community.
Is that Old Spice or just Spice?
Old Spice.
These sandworms are from China. China.
China.
I'm a big science fiction book fan.
Build that wall,
and
bitch.
I've never been able to make it all the way through the Dune books. And I've tried several times over the decades. But I want to see the film.
I certainly never bothered to read any but the first book. But I am definitely looking forward to seeing the movie. I want to see it.
I don't know if you guys have fathers who are into science fiction, but my dad is. So I've sat at the dinner table as my dad has walked me through Dune.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just like, I'm not going to read this
That's
now.
going to turn you off. Yeah.
It really does. But I just want to watch it so I can, maybe it will inspire me to read it because, you hate having a big book that you haven't read, but I don't even bring it with me.
I'm offended that you brought up fathers because mine's taking a dirt nap.
Did you deserve it?
Too.
No,
There was
really.
one review that came out there was one review that came out about the Dune movie that actually gave me about as much hope as I've been getting from Nerd Cookies being so nerdy on the movie. And that was someone talking about how Villeneuve could not get away. I'm going to screw up what was said, but Villeneuve could not get away from what didn't work about the Lynch Dune from 1984. And I'm saying, that sounds like a good thing. I may have more hope.
What is it? I always liked the first Dune. I like the Lynch Dune. I mean,
a lot of people did. But the thing is that it took several liberties.
Yes, I
just
know,
to tell a more Lynchian tale.
Yeah.
Just to put a certain flavor of his own making on the film. But in my opinion, it was still a good film as well. It did a lot of things that were important to adapt that book into a movie. Especially
funnily enough, I actually got a couple of people to watch it recently that I would consider normies. And I said, you should watch this movie, the original Dune movie. And they did, and they thought it was quite good. So, there you go.
I always view that movie as it's Lynch's Dune. It's
yes, it is very much a Lynch movie.
Is definitely.
So people that like it, they call it a lynch mob.
Yeah.
That's kind of like Stanley Kubrick's Shining. It's his version of The Shining.
Yes, yeah.
Very much his story.
Yeah, the folks who read that one really have a different say on The Shining.
I've been a long time since I've looked forward to a film.
Well, that's good. If anyone's looking forward to a modern film, I got to count that as a good thing, regardless of some of the trepidation.
I watched a reasonably good movie tonight.
Now, this hasn't happened. This hasn't happened in an age.
Yeah. What movie did you see?
I just watched the movie Cop Shop tonight. Gerard Butler, Frank Grillo, Gerard Butler.
Is that from like a few years ago?
No, that's brand new.
Is it brand new?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw it. It was available online. I didn't see it.
It's okay. It wasn't bad. It had a although they're nominally the stars, Alexis Louder, actress, she was really the best thing about it. She was really good. She played one of the cops in it. So she was more like the lead than they were. She was so look out for her. I mean, she was in that terrible Watchmen TV show, but But otherwise, she was brilliant in this movie, and also had Toby Huss, who you might, if you ever watched *Halt and Catch Fire*, he was the boss, the Texan guy that was the boss of the IT company. He was brilliant as a hitman in it. So it's worth it. It's like a 6.5, 7 out of 10 type thing, but it was okay. Certainly not woke. There's nothing woke about it, but lots of Gerard Butler's great. He's Scottish. He's got to be great.
Oh, okay. Racism, all right, confirmed. Before real quick, I have a couple super chats funding the all right, no doubt. Member of the Dix Division, I'm told. We have them on the FBI watch list. Do you know how Peter Pan can fly? If you got hit in the Peter with a pan, you would fly too. There you go. Wisdom from
That's an old ass.
I thought it was the gay fairy dust.
Could have been.
Hey, did anyone find the pictures of Rona Mitra?
Oh wait, I just see 70 share something. I'll check it out.
No, it was just a poster for the cop shop. It's not anything special. In case anyone's looking for it, that's what the cover looks like.
I'll find it.
And it was worth it.
Well, listen, I'm gonna chalk those up as positive. Anytime there's something modern and someone doesn't hate it and no one's getting yelled at, you got to kind of call it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It wasn't woke. It had some great dialogue between the leads, and as I say, the lead actress there, she was brilliant. I'd never really noticed her before in anything, but she is really good. So,
speaking of actresses, Mr. Tickle Trunks super chat says women in Hollywood are treated like holy objects, except on casting couches, which is worse while there's less roles available right now. So yeah, I can only imagine how the casting couch is. So there you go on that. Oh wait, Cold Air is sharing something. What is this?
I heard Rona Mitra.
Got me Rona.
Rona. Yeah.
There's the Rona naked ones, but
well, this is
Matt
channel. I don't want to ruin it. There you go.
So what are we doing comparing Rona to Kate Beckinsale? So let's.
Yeah, but if you look at Rona when she was at, I guess, in Nip Tuck, it shows some good pictures. Not naked, obviously, but just good with the way they dressed her.
Just good and toxic.
Please don't screw us up.
No,
please.
No, there's no naked in those.
I hope that
as long as you get it in moderate search, you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trusting Cold Eras with Matt's channel. So,
hey, what happened?
That was
Jed
your first
tonight?
mistake.
Where's Jed tonight?
Let's look at Kate Beckinsale.
I'm not sure. I know he's been
He's been going through some stuff, so he's
Oh,
been having
okay.
a bit of a rough go.
Who?
Jed.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
Pop culture archivist.
Mama.
This is a tough one. So Rona Mitra or Kate Beckinsale?
I mean,
If Kate had the boobs, that'd be different. But
I'd say let's bring more of that body of Kate.
Kate's-
You know she's got good stuff.
Kate's flat.
Is
Yes.
she?
Okay.
Pretty
Yeah.
It's pretty flat, but
Ironing board with a face, yes.
She's very slender,
There you go,
very
Jeff.
small in build.
I did like
I
the way
didn't,
she
I didn't
looked in
think she was
underwear.
flat, though. I thought she was maybe like me, the A
Yeah,
or B cup variety.
she's
Well,
not.
then maybe you should
She's
do
not
a
flat.
Google.
She's
Well,
got
there's a
some-
BBC.
She should change nothing about herself.
She doesn't
There's
look
a
like a flat earther.
No.
Distance from
Don't.
me.
Not on the show, but there's a BBC. Like if you go watch it, they kind of show her, and it's flat. She could be like one of the skeletal models in biology class, anatomy.
I know how to cook food. I can give her dinner.
You got a downvote when you went toxic. That's great.
Over topic. Oh.
At least she has a bit more curve than Matt's muse.
Oh, good grief.
oh
Brie
God, no!
Larson.
We're not talking.
Oh, no.
Jed.
Oh, God, no.
No, Matt.
Wait a minute. Who's
We're
Matt
done.
Hughes?
Huh?
Brie Larson. He likes
No,
Brie
Brie
Larson
Larson.
for some
I
reason.
was joking the whole time when he said
No,
Oh.
he's serious.
No,
You are
he
here.
No,
genuinely
That's
does.
a serious
Brie.
thing.
He's not
Hold on.
hey, George, he's not just serious, he's adamant.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Let's.
Are you
I
telling
gotta-
me-
Seriously
So,
adamant.
Matt likes the Bigfoot feet.
George,
Yeah?
you weren't.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Not
like making
a
fun
negative
of that.
factor for
In
him.
Matt's defense, I've never heard him mention the feet.
Okay.
He
I'm
hasn't
pretty
been-
sure
No,
it's
he
more
hasn't.
of like
No, that's
he
something he
doesn't
mentions.
We have
It's
brought
real.
up the feet. here. We have brought up the feat
Oh,
on this
I
forum
brought
with
it up
him
several
here,
times.
and he has not said, no, that doesn't
I mean,
work
do you
for me.
need him
He
to
did not say
disavow
it.
the feet?
George is like,
He did not
what can I
disavow
give
the
that
feet. We
shit
brought up the
about
feet. He did
person?
not disavow the feet.
So
George is already planning.
Yes.
He's like Chuck Norris. He's just waiting for his
Waiting.
opportunity.
Absolutely.
Okay, let me reset the whole Bree thing because it's this show's version of Batman's parents. It just keeps coming up episode after episode after episode.
If I see one more dropped pearl.
If I see that drop pearl one more motherfucking time. So
drop that pearl again.
Matt was drunk a few months ago and he said, hey, you and I agree with the premise. The premise is, listen, most guys would fuck Brie Larson. This idea, no matter what you think about her personality or her politics, most guys would fuck her. There are certainly
I'm really selective. I don't know.
I have a little bit more taste than Matt, I think.
Okay, wait, hold on. But would you have sex with her if you and her were both drunk?
No.
Okay.
Well, nowadays, shit, no.
Oh,
definitely not.
If I'm drunk, I'm over it.
Because you'd end up in jail.
Yeah,
She would need to take advantage of my unconscious body. That drunk.
Okay,
yeah, I want a video deposition.
So you guys have just answered the 0, 1, 2 scale.
Hey, if she takes advantage
out of the decision making,
if she takes advantage of my corpse, whatever. I'll be
no
dead.
finger scale for her. Like we used to do the finger scale. No.
Well, you can't count to 10. That's way too subjective. But 0, 1, 2 is no, sober, drunk.
There's no way.
It's not in that order.
No,
video deposition. I hold the iPhone and go, okay, you want to have sex now? Please speak.
Man,
can I just get your, your written release here first? Thanks, not hard did that.
I'm not going to
George
like that.
Come on, Vid, you got to show. This is the latest pictures of Bree's feet.
Oh no!
No.
If you want,
it is not necessary. The deposition has been completed.
This is we're talking about him.
All right, Matt, who you fucking?
Well, his heels were burning. You know, we're talking about Bree. So.
Yeah, we did start talking about Bree. So, like,
oh my God, you did. You're right.
It's just funny how that works.
It's like the Matt signal, right?
Matt signal.
So
it's basically Brie Larson's feet.
I can't show her talent. Mr. Tickle Trump. 70s was trying to get me to go there. Now, here's the premise of where I agree with Matt, and that is. There are so many woke bitches out in the wild, like that you can come across a chick way woker than Brie Larson on Tinder without trying. So I'm going to go with a woke, moderately attractive chick, I would go with the celebrity over just some random thought on Tinder. So I
think I'd rather go with the rando that will never know your name or care.
Zoom in on Comic's
He's not gonna care.
Damn.
She's gonna swallow it and go by her life.
VW, I have the evidence. Share.
And
I think she has the potential of being a crazy stalker.
What would make the normie different from doing the same thing?
I mean, I'd rather. Oh boy,
the real answer is simply not to get in that situation.
I'm wondering what Bat Tom has to think about
What
this.
does Bat Tom think about Brie?
Why are you showing pictures of Clayface's feet?
I tried not to, Bat Tom. I tried not to.
That's a weird fetish.
Some people are weird. Speaking of which, what is
damn right.
Okay, Justin of the Red Shirt will go with you. What are you sharing us? Oh, the Wake Down did this.
Now, George,
this is the Wake Down.
This is for George.
The Wake Down, yes, George. This starts off with the stream we've been talking about, and the Wake Down decided that Matt needed to spend more time with Brie Larson, so he put them together.
So the lore is Matt was going on a drunken rage, and this is the fruit of the labor.
This is the fruit of the. This is the result. I hope I shared the audio.
Never go full Brie Larson.
Pretty good.
Never go full retard.
Retard.
Yeah, all right. So it's called the finger dexterity test, right? You can test the tip of your finger to the tip of your thumb. You can count out loud 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do that 3 times.
I did it 3 times.
My old name.
Classic Robert.
Right? Remember when Pepperidge Farm remembers?
I would fuck this shit out of her. You guys are crazy. Brie Larson's hot. This is old. This girl, man. She was like, "I love you," and just like sat on your dick like a fucking queen. You would do it. Let's be honest. Physically, that girl is
Hi. So you want to go to a real party?
This is going to be really disturbing. I'm sorry, Matt.
I'm sorry, George.
No, this is interesting.
Oh wait, yeah, Tom's song.
Yeah, I know that song.
Are you?
Y'all are sued like a motherfucker.
I'm so heavy in my head.
Tag him.
Oh, beta man.
Is this like about pegging?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh my god, how did he do that?
The white down is amazing.
Reface app is your
He's
friend.
got a reface. Yeah, he's got a reface service.
You should do this video for this song for me.
Yeah, this could be the video. Shit.
Damn near. Like, I just want my face over like a bunch of classic music videos.
Just have you in the background singing on different scenes.
Well, like over top of like Michael Jackson, Prince, Madonna, all the classic MTV videos. Yeah.
Tom, talk to the weight down.
Yeah.
Just talk to the weight down. You can do it.
Holy shit.
That was a dark song. The relationship has gone dark. There you go. Sorry, man. Trust me.
That's the way most romance is meant. I mean, either kill each other or everybody around.
I love it. Matt comment. So glad I checked in. Typical Matt.
Wow.
Yeah. I am sorry. Trust me. Nobody wanted more Brie Larson less than I did, but it happened. Speaking of which, Toxic Man Flu said I would
take
treat
full
Brie.
responsibility for bringing that up.
Toxic Man Flu said he would treat Brie like a cheap suit, but I've been divorced multiple times, which brings my process in question.
Very discerning.
That's the thing. I think the general person, like I said, you can go a lot woker in the wild. And what does 70s have?
If anyone believes Kate Beckinsale isn't hot, this picture would prove it.
Is that Kate Beckinsale?
Supposed to be.
No, that's not Kate.
No, it's not.
No way.
It's not.
No, that's like one of those Google mess ups.
Yeah, that's got to be a Google mistake.
Oh my.
Listen, don't get mad.
That
Zoom
is
in?
Kate Beckinsale.
That's real.
Yeah,
I remember that was in a
good.
Maxim magazine.
Yeah.
Back.
That brings me back.
Oh no, please, no fat.
She's not
Hand
fat,
check.
but she's skinny.
Yeah, she's skinny, but she is skinny hot.
She's skinny hot.
Mm-hmm. She's got all the right proportions for a girl that size.
When we're talking about saying no to somebody, Kate Beckinsale is somebody I would not say no to.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
No.
Oh, hold on, wait.
Would not.
Here's the thing. Now, what if Kate Beckinsale said a bunch of woke? I mean, she may have. Who knows? But no one
Couldn't
cares
care
about
less.
it.
That's what ball
Couldn't
gags
care
are
less.
for, Vidge. I mean,
Women said the whole Brie thing. Now, listen, man. Now I'm.
No, if she said woke
no,
shit, I wouldn't.
my whole point is that I do not find Brie Larson attractive. That, flat out. I think her personality is ugly. I think she is okay looking. She is average, slightly a hair above average at best.
Back in the day, but
Kate
now she looks like an
Beckinsale is
anorexic
smoking
bitch.
hot.
So I guess Amber Heard's out of the question then, huh? Comics.
Amber Heard's pretty hot, and that
She's
might
not-
require some
Amber Heard is
above scale.
Amber Heard is in the wrong corner of the hot, crazy.
Yeah, just make sure she knows where the
Not even
washroom
close, man. I'm
is.
not changing my tune. I was never attracted to Brie Larson. I flat out said that multiple times. I don't think her personality.
I think I've even
I
brought up
suppose I
that
better
thing
get
when
out of here so
someone.
Matt can get in, huh?
Matt's
Where's Matt
interested.
coming
Yeah,
in?
and Tom wanted.
Oh.
Matt, were you trying to get in? I mean, because I don't know if you can. Because
Here, let me get out. I'll let
If he's
Tom
trying
in.
to get
I'm
in,
gonna
Actually,
head
I need
out
to crash
straight
out
anyway,
anyway. man.
So,
I mean, if we need to let Matt in, I'll bail.
Yeah, I was gonna
Unless
I
Matt
gotta
wants
hit
to
the
give me
sack
shit
soon,
or
too.
something, then I'll hang around for that. But no, I just want to go to bed.
yeah,
well,
I've been
I gotta
streaming
hit
for
the
like
sack.
12 hours straight, more than 12
Yeah,
hours.
you were trying to get out of here like an hour ago.
Whistling like a
Apologies.
canary in my ass.
just
hold on.
stringing him
He says
along.
going to a dark room and he can't come.
You can't come.
Can't come in
That
a
is
dark
some
room.
sounds
That's
like
a
a
personal
we did not
problem.
need to know.
Matt,
Do not come.
If you're
do not
arrested, let's go
come.
to
Do
4
not
hours.
come,
Call the
Matt.
doctor.
Do not come.
Do
Tell her to
not
slap
come.
me between
Come.
balls and say, "Ooh, what a lovely tea party," and it might work.
Oh, somebody just left. Who do we
I'm
lose?
gonna come.
That
Tom's
was
dropped.
Tom.
We
Oh, Tom
let
just
go of
left.
That was his
Tom.
mic drop moment.
Ah.
And Matt, love you, dude. Take care. I hope you're safe in Houston. If you're trying to hook up with the chick, I hope you're successful. And everyone have a good night. I'm out of here too. So,
Good night,
peace.
Do
Comics.
not come.
Cheers,
Oh,
comics.
no.
Take care,
Bye,
comics.
comics.
Right,
Later,
that guy
comics.
just left us. No.
So
What we're
we
down
will-
to, guys. Well, somebody was trying to send a link to Eric K. If somebody wants to do that,
I sent it.
You did? Okay, so
Yeah.
Eric K.
All right.
has that.
Now, did you slide it in, Eric K?
Welcome to.
He never slid anything into Eric K, you know.
Oh.
Oh, 70s. I was going to tell you, you said you liked sci-fi earlier. Go watch Outlander if you haven't seen it. Outlander with Sean Connery.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
That's
Yeah,
a
man.
great
I'm
movie.
a classic
He hasn't seen
sci-fi
the Sean
man.
Connery movie.
I make sci-fi videos on my channel about sci-fi books, but old-fashioned sci-fi movies, that's my bread and butter, sir.
I love
Outlander
Outlander.
is brilliant. Yes, absolutely fantastic.
Nothing like a guy exploding from zero pressure in a elevator.
Indeed.
Speaking of exploding from zero pressure, another reference to Matt's past. Matt, are you standing like a lamp with a ball gag? So Matt, Eric K says he says at Eric K doing field research. So I don't know if that's a yes or a no. Eric said he did not check the Discord. Yeah, we did just have a full house, but Friday Night Tights, both the panelists were too cool for school, and they abandoned us. So we're not joking. We're glad that both comics and Tom were able to show up. But yeah, we have open spots for now. I'm not sure how long we're gonna go, but feel free to jump in if you feel like it. Oh man, now everyone's not talking at once. I'm not used to the panel. I was not used to having it. I was actually allowed
Giving
to
you
talk.
the opportunity to host, sir.
Well, yeah, I've been trying, and it doesn't help that my fucking mic stand literally broke on air. So I'm holding my mic. Wait, no, not that.
Technical
not that
difficulties.
Mic, not that mic.
So it's open mic night.
I just want to say I'm going to be going. I didn't realize it was 1:30. I have a 6 a.m.
Everybody's leaving us.
Ouch.
George?
I thought it was
George.
1. Thank you for having me. It's great.
Welcome to
Vigilante,
YouTube,
you were
George.
awesome. Thank you. That's 70s.
George.
Just another red shirt, my friend.
See you in a few nights for Toxic Tuesday.
George, we're
Absolutely.
going to do a sci-fi stream, sci-fi movie stream, you and me.
Tell me whenever. I love Outland. No one has ever reviewed Outland online.
Oh, Outland is a brilliant movie, yeah.
I
Love
agree.
it.
Who is it? It was Japhet Kotto, wasn't it? Wasn't he?
Yes.
The boss.
And there's some suggestions that it's actually in the same universe as one or two other sci-fi movies. There's some interesting writing pieces. Yeah. So
okay.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk
The
about
boss
that.
was the guy who played the monster in Young Frankenstein. I'm trying to remember his name.
I can't remember. That's why I was asking. Was it Japhet Kotto also? I thought he was in there somehow.
No, he's not. I don't know if he's in that.
Hang on.
I remember it was with.
We'll cover it.
Okay. All right. Draco.
We will talk about it.
Yeah.
I'll email you.
Pleasure, everyone.
George.
Oh,
Pleasure talking to you.
thank you.
Nice meeting you, George.
Have a great weekend, Colt. See you later.
Take care, George.
Hold on.
Thanks for the memories, George.
There you go. Oh man.
Oh shit! Terminus S is in
Terminus
the chat.
Test. Hell, Terminus Test, who famously subbed to me like 4 times. Is it Northwest Flavor 21?
Nick Weiser.
Nick Weiser Flavor 21. Okay. It's too slow on the uptake. Nick Weiser flavor 21. Brie Larson's caramelized foot fungus.
Oh my.
So yeah, every time her feet are brought up, I go with Cuz Vigilante Williams logic on women and feet. If the feet ain't right, I'm just gonna
shit ain't tight.
Well, the shit ain't right. What it is his theory is if the girl has ugly feet, then her cooch probably stinks.
If the shoe don't fit, you must have quit.
No, dude.
If the shoe don't fit, you shouldn't hit. Basically,
I mean, if you can, never mind. I'm gonna get gross. I'll stop.
No, I don't know how we get less gross than we've already been, so.
Bro, I can get way worse, man. I was just gonna say if the smeets.
I don't think you can.
If the feet smell worse.
Yeah,
than the
I don't
pussy,
think you
then
can.
You got a real problem. But if the pussy smells worse than the feet, and you smelling that shit while you standing up, man, that's bad. That's real bad.
It's real bad.
Do not come, Ace. Do not
come.
Do not come.
If you come in that, fuck, dude.
I'm not gonna
Put
come.
it on TikTok.
Words to live by. Words to live by.
I'm not coming.
But you know who did come? You know who did come? As in show up, as in arrive. As my mouse shits the bed. Eric K.
Hail, Eric K.
Damn.
K-Meister.
Yeah, you're right.
I just came.
Ace, what kind of women are you being with? Jesus Christ. If the feet smell like the cooch and
No.
geez,
If they
that's
smell
not
like
fun.
each other, then that's a next level fetish of shit that you don't want to watch on the Pornhub.
I just want to know what you've been getting into lately.
Well, this
I
is
thought
maybe
you
this
were
is,
a fine, upstanding young man, and oh Jesus!
well, this is what Brie Larson does to people. We start talking about feet. It
Look, let's
just
be
gets all
real
off
here. If you could fuck Brie Larson, but you had to come on her feet, I mean, I could probably pull out a name that, sure.
I mean,
if you pull out that and say, I'm going to come.
I thought the point was never to have to be inside to pull out.
If it's
Just
Brie,
saying.
listen, logic
Look,
dictates
I think
you
I
shouldn't
fall
fuck someone.
on the foul ball side of this play.
Because it's like we've all. The thing is, there's a chance you will fuck someone woker than Brie who's less hot. That's a high chance.
Been there,
That's
done
not
that.
unrealistic. Exactly. So if I could get a better woke to hotness ratio than Brie. I can get a worse one in a while. That's my point. Go ahead, Cold Air. You haven't thought much.
If you fuck somebody who isn't woke, isn't that statutory?
I'm lost in that one. Oh wait,
Rookies.
just hit it.
It's full of
Okay,
grape.
got it. If they're not awoke,
Yeah, that did take. That took about like 10
that
seconds.
took
for
a
me.
second because it was so dark. I was like, what?
No,
It
that's
was so
what
dark.
that's what they call content for efucks.com.
I never heard that.
Yeah. You know when we were like talking to that guy who never saw the blue waffle? And we were like,
Oh,
yo,
yeah,
don't,
February,
Was that Jed?
don't follow up on the shit we say.
Okay. Don't
That's right. Don't ever Google
I won't be
anything.
looking it up.
Yeah, don't ever Google anything that Ace tells you.
If it's after midnight, for sure not.
Okay, yeah, that was interesting because he kept
Fenrir,
falling
remember,
for it. Like, Fenrir, come
no
on, man.
2 girls, 1 cup.
I
No
thought
blue
that
waffle.
Oh God, no!
Was it Jed or Fenrir? It was Fenrir?
It was
It was Fenrir.
It was
Oh.
Fenrir.
It was Fenrir.
Yes.
I remember.
Oh, and he Googled everything. And he was coming back and you're like, "Oh, guys, you guys are awful." They're like, "We told you not to."
Shout out to Jake.
Yes, it was a Jake D stream.
JD stream. And Phil was on there, and he fell for every one. I'm like, Phil, don't do this to yourself. I tried my damnedest, but that made him want it more. I'm like, stop.
I know.
Look at Blue Waffles or whatever.
Oh my God.
I think he even did the thing with like, oh, this is disgusting, but he kept watching 2 girls, 1 cup.
Dude, that
Oh
reminds
God.
me- I had an old boss. I'm like, do you know what a Boston pancake is? And then he looked up what a Boston pancake was. He was just like, oh my God, dude, that's nasty. I'm like, well, do you know about the Iron Man? And he's like, oh fuck, that's nasty. And I'm like, oh shit, well, do you know about the Rusty Chumbo? He's like, oh my God, it's nasty. I'm like, how do you keep falling for this?
Don't look
Like-
it up if you don't want to know.
But
That's
he
right.
keeps looking it up. I think he was into it.
Islington girl with a 99-cent super sticker that I needed adult eyes. I have no other way to describe it. because you can't show the super sticker in StreamYard. But yeah, she has the really worried emoji face. Thank you for the super sticker.
I'm
really
kind of
just, like,
worried here
disturbed.
too, though. Geez, what did I come into?
That's what he said.
Same old cocktail lounge, Eric K. Same old cocktail lounge.
We could go back to talking about like esoteric Swedish films from the 1950s and how great those actors were then, because you know Max von Sydow was an amazing actor, but
I mean, nothing of this.
The Wrong Places You Jizz is fun.
So he's got a nice cocktail.
It's all fun till she shows up with someone else's son and says it's yours.
I'm legit worried about that right now, by the way.
Oh Jesus! No.
Yeah, like I dated someone like let's just say we broke up like 9 months ago. So you know, she was super hot, bro. And I'm just
did she give dirty swirlies?
I'm not gonna say what.
Don't incriminate yourself.
I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna say what she gave. I definitely not gonna tell what I gave her.
It
But
happened. Confirmed.
The fact of the matter is, I'm just hoping that I get no calls in the next 3 months to 18 years.
Like, 18 years.
That doesn't mean any, like.
No, it sounds like that was a long-term swirly.
Because I mean, I don't know if she was with anyone else, but sometimes it's just like, if he doesn't notice, could be just another guy raising.
Like, no, I mean, let's say like we broke up.
Was the one.
Yeah, right.
But
there you
the
go.
cat is not his son.
Thank you, Jesus.
Ironically enough, you're singing that into the same mic he sung that song, same model mic. Michael Jackson sung that song.
Isn't that beautiful?
There you go. There you go. So everything goes around because everyone talks about that Joe Rogan mic. It's actually Michael Jackson used to use it.
It's Michael Jackson's mic. Always with Michael Jackson's.
Yeah, in my opinion. Yeah,
it's not Michael Jackson.
The same model mic that Shure, what is this called? SM75 or something. Some model of a mic, but Joe Rogan uses it, but Michael Jackson used it a generation before that. So there you go. Not the same exact mic, but just that model, that brand.
It's the same mic.
So, quick question.
It has his spit in it.
Have any of you guys seen the series Car Trek that I keep talking about?
I have not.
No.
Not yet.
Okay. Do any of you
You
guys
bringing
like
that up is actually the fourth time I've heard about it.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to get folks into it. I dropped the link in the private chat for the season 5 trailer if anybody wants to watch it. It's a YouTube-based show, so it's not like you can get, axed for it. But it's basically like a sort of like Top Gear road trip format.
Okay.
But it's just 3 YouTubers. And it's just so fucking chill. I don't know. Maybe it's not too celeb enough.
No. Listen, we need to find good entertainment. The last thing I want to talk about is celebrity. Unless it's something funny. So yeah, give me a second.
Say night to Matt before you get into it.
Matt. Yeah, good night. Good night, Matt.
Good night, Matt.
Night, Matt.
Hell, the chief.
Think about Bree.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, remember it's a race you don't need to win.
Okay.
Mid race.
All right, let's. I didn't have it. I didn't share this.
Now, what you wanted to bring up?
No, I just wanted to share the trailer that Ace put in the. Because I've never seen Car Trek, never heard of Car Trek. I know nothing of his work. Make sure if I share the audio. Yeah, I am. So here's the Car Trek trailer. We'll see how it is. Can you guys hear?
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Yep. In a world.
I need a very durable condom and zip ties. We are here at the Amelia Island Concorde Elegance, and we actually made it because we brought reliable cars this time. I don't know about yours. It's not known for its reliability, is it? Okay.
Oh, that sounds missy, doesn't it?
This is the closest I've ever been to a private jet.
The door's open, Freddie.
Oh, look at that. Tyler, are you a member of the Mile High Club?
Well, never with a partner.
Is this Ogre Squatcher?
Your cars are safe with us, but we have given you a generous budget to buy a duplicate of your first car.
So it's Top Gear.
Kind of.
Oh, you're right on my tail.
Yep.
Get up, get in, get in.
We need his channel. He's the only one that gets views.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Taser.
Oh, wow, Tyler just took off. Oh, my goodness. I'm coming on your inside. No.
What the hell are they talking about?
Got him.
You're going to be the first person to get stabbed in the neck by a Volkswagen key unless you say something nice about my merch.
Okay. I'm going to need some popcorn if we're going to keep this going, and I'd love to keep this going. Oh, my God! Today does not suck. Today is a good day.
Yeah, very Top Gear.
That's interesting. Oh,
Good though.
Come on.
We're trying. Is that their Stig?
No, that's Tyler Hoover.
Okay, sorry. There you go.
Now that's entertainment right there.
There you go.
That actually isn't bad. It beats the hell out of the new Top Gear.
Oh, I mean, it's definitely better than Top Gear.
Is it? But well,
like the British Top Gear right now.
The new one right now, yeah.
Okay.
The new one.
I haven't watched
God.
Top Gear since they left. And it's looking like a few people are dropping out, so I'm wondering if
I gotta go, buddy. Thanks for hosting, Vig. Really appreciate it.
I gotta be dead in the morning, so
okay. You know what?
I'll be dead in the morning. That sounds a bit tragic.
Dad.
I'm with you,
Dad.
Say goodnight.
I want to
know.
Who's your daddy? Nick is your daddy.
Farewell. See you all next time.
I'll see you on Toxic Tuesday 70s.
Take care.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, mate. I'll be there. Cheers.
I can't wait. Beverly Hills Cop.
I know. See you guys. Take care.
See ya.
Take care.
Later.
All right. Well, guys, it's been good. It's been fun. I'm drunk. And I gotta be a parent in the morning, and how that's gonna work out is gonna be interesting, but I'll figure it out. I always do. That's what heroes do. Eric K, a pleasure to see you. Glad to see you're up, alive, and talking. That's good. It's important in the world. The world needs Eric K. Otherwise, I burn the world down if we don't have an Eric K. So, world lives for another day. Yes. And Red Shirt, good to see you as always. Draco, Ace, nice to see you again. It's been a while. Cold Era, nice to have you finally on stream. And Vigilante Williamson, you are a great host, and you have a great night. You guys know how to find my channel. You guys make a lot of bad decisions, drink alcohol, do drugs, be great, and they're amazing. Peace and good night, and all that good shit. Stay.
Okay.
Night.
I did not do that. He did that to himself. I'm being dead serious. I'm just like, we just cut off halfway through. But all right, good night, Nick Weiser. And maybe Human said, yeah, isn't this Five Balls channel? It is his channel, but he's giving the reins over to me for some god unknown reason, some god awful reason. And here I am. Yeah, fake drunk, not even slurring, says maybe Human. And yeah, did something happen to Eric Care? You all right, Eric?
I'll live, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Not forever.
Well,
Not entirely dead yet.
Well, I just hope I don't have to go back to the hospital. So,
yeah.
Don't
other than that,
do
I'm
anything
all good.
bad to yourself.
Yeah, man.
I'm all good. Just I hope I don't have to go back.
Yeah, I didn't know you were.
And nothing gets nothing Coof related. So
don't count.
Well, get better.
Yeah,
please get better.
Well, I just hope they don't have to go back into surgery. So that's all I care about.
Oh man, yeah. I wish you the best. Sorry, everything got kind of slowed down, but I was wondering if anyone have anything else that they wanted to talk about, because I was thinking of rapping since everyone was leaving, but now I'm worried about Eric K. So it's the chat.
Hey, I'm all good. I'm gonna live. I am eternal after all.
Yeah, you better be, because we don't know what we're gonna do without an Eric K. The world, would spin the wrong way or something.
Hey, they woke me up this time after this operation. Not right away, but they were able to get me up after, let's see. So about 8 hours it took them to wake me up this time.
Oh man.
Yep.
Wow.
Especially when you're supposed to wake up right after they stop giving you the sleep drugs. Huh? Isn't that nice?
Oh man.
Yeah, that's why I was a week in the hospital.
Oh man, that sounds serious.
Yeah, it's all good. Don't worry about me.
But it's also not one of those very explainable kind of things.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to go into details here.
You don't have to. Yeah. We can, leave the details of your penis reduction surgery. We know.
It was too big.
Okay. It's far too big for normal. It's okay. It's okay.
Beware the Drew.
Yeah, beware the Drew. Shout out to us Free Heretic. But yeah, you don't have to go into detail. We just want to make sure you're good, man. We want you. We need Eric K. The world needs Eric K. Now more than ever. So we want to make sure you're good. We don't know what to do without our Wrench King.
What the world
I'm all good. Don't worry about it.
It's more Eric K.
There you go. There you go. All right, guys. I think that's it. I know it's a little shorter show, but we started later, and it's already close to 3 a.m.
Yeah, it was a late start.
Yeah.
I don't mean like you were late or shit. I mean like 10 o'clock for me was usually like what, 8?
Yeah. We started late because I have this pesky work stuff I have to do. So I had to unfortunately start late. But I appreciate everybody showing up. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Shout out to Comics, Tom, obviously 70s Nick, Matt from Fireball Productions, Breeze Feet, Eric K, Cold Era, Ace's Dirty Laundry, aka Ace Mr. Freeze, just another red shirt. He's not just another red shirt. He's the red shirt, and of course Draco. So for everyone mentioned, I'm Vigilante Williamson. This was the MFer Cocktail Lounge. I will see you guys later. Peace.